doing. And I'm most delighted to tell them, the Lord is my light. And my salvation. Who shall I fear? Who shall I fear? Who shall I fear? Who shall I fear? Enemy try to harm. Enemy try to harm. What down is here? What down is here? What down is here? What down is here? The Lord is my light. The Lord is my light. And my salvation. Who shall I fear? Who shall I fear?
A crowd which may top 30,000 in the Orange Bowl tonight in Miami, Florida, as well as a statewide television audience on Sunshine Network, ready for the Soul Bowl as the Miami Jackson Generals get set to take on the Miami Northwestern Bulls. The bands are ready, the fans are ready, and the players will be out very shortly. Always a great atmosphere at this traditional clash between Jackson and Northwestern. Good evening, everyone. Rick Peckham along with Sean Alvashire and James Bates. It's great to have you with us for the Soul Bowl here from the Orange Bowl in Miami. And Sean, you talk about the tradition of this game. You talk about bragging rights. They play it for pride. This game has never meant more to these schools than tonight's matchup.
Well, let's just set the stage. Coming into this game, Miami Northwestern, they're number 5 in the country, number 2 in the 6A poll. Jackson, they're number 6 in the 6A poll. And then put it all together, this is for the district championship. It's a great atmosphere. And Batesy, you know something about atmosphere.
Big games. And I had to wait until I got to college before I played in front of over 10,000 people. Over 30,000 people expected to be here tonight. Because this isn't just high school football. This is the Soul Bowl, guys.
It sure is. And you saw that both teams are ready to go. They'll be out shortly. Right now, we're set for tonight's national anthem performance.
Now we sing the national anthem.
I'll drop it. We'll do it again. He called a what? Number 98. Hit my head. One to talk and like to receive. What goal would you like to defend? Put your back down.
The Generals will get the ball first, receiving the kickoff from the Northwestern Bulls. Well, they got everybody fired up in the PA, and I don't think you really need much help for this one, Sean, to get ready for this.
This is what they've been waiting for all week. And Rick, we've been doing a bunch of high school football games, and we have yet to see one that has started out like this.
And we've been pleased to bring you week after week in our coverage of the new Dodge Florida High School Champion Series here in Sunshine. Great matchups from all over the state of Florida, known for outstanding high school football. And we've got two schools that have been going at it for a long time in the Soul Bowl here. And as Sean pointed out in the open, everything's on the line tonight.
Northwestern has won the last 10 Soul Bowls, 17 of the last 19. But like we said, you throw the records out. This is the game of games. Never in the history of the Soul Bowl have they come in ranked in the state, undefeated in the district. This game is for the district championship. The game's on live television. 30,000 people packed here into the Orange Bowl. You almost would forget you're at a high school game taking a peek at this.
Absolutely. Matchups like this that were unofficially given the moniker Soul Bowl date back to the 1940s here at the Orange Bowl and other arenas and stadiums in this area. Powell Stadium, even Joe Robbie Stadium hosted a Soul Bowl in 1990.
They had two Soul Bowls. First ever high school games ever held in Joe Robbie Stadium. And anyone familiar with South Florida, Joe Robbie, now pro player, sits in the very north part of Dade County. And they still average attendance was over 10,000. That's how important this game is to the community. It really has no bearing on districts or states. Well, this year it does, but as far as the communities are concerned, this game might be more important than the state championship.
Well, these two schools have been going at it. The Soul Bowl was given the official name as such back in 1980, and as Sean pointed out, it's been dominated by the Northwestern Bulls, and they're having a dominating season again this season.
Northwestern, as we mentioned in the open, they're number 5 in the USA Today national poll, and they've built that on the strength of an 8-0 record. And some of the players you will be seeing tonight, you'll be seeing playing on Saturdays and maybe even Sundays. And sometimes when referring to high school players in the pros, it's hyperbolic. Not tonight. The Weaver brothers, known as Double Vision, the twins that play defensive end for Northwestern, and you put them alongside Torrey Cox. Northwestern has a great tradition, but Jackson will come to play tonight.
Well, the Generals make their entrance onto the field here at the Orange Bowl. Last year's matchup was a classic, Sean.
Well, if you like defense, it was a classic. Not too many high school football games end in a 0-0 tie, but that's what happened. Jackson got the ball first in the Kansas City tiebreaker, took the lead on a field goal 3-0, but Torrey Cox, he went in for the touchdown. He's playing tonight, 6-3. Northwestern wins it.
And the Bulls storm onto the field. Jackson head coach Joe Redmond looking calm on the outside. He's got to be churning in the stomach on the inside.
He's coached at the collegiate level, and I asked him all week, Coach, you must have been a lot of pressure. You must have been concerned with your kids, but you must be, this isn't as overwhelming as it might seem to us because you coach at the collegiate level. He said, actually, Sean, I've never coached a game in college that had this much intensity and pressure.
Billy Rolle has his Bulls ready for this one.
Oh, he's the second-year coach, and he's got a long lineage of playing in big games, but now this is his first huge game coaching in it, but he seems rather calm. He's ready to take on the Generals.
Here are the numbers, the tail of the tape, if you will, for both these schools.
You see on offense, both teams can move the ball, and they can score. Defense, they hardly give up any. I think a telling stat is points allowed. Northwestern's only given up, on average, 4 points a game. The Generals, 6 points a game.
James Bates is hustled down to field level, and let's pick up this report from James.
Guys, I can't believe this atmosphere
teams come out, the coaches are yelling across the field at each other. It's hot here in the Orange Bowl tonight.
Well, James, hopefully you can stay out of the fray, or at least stay neutral in this one. I know you're anxious for some action. Boy, if they head down his sideline tonight, Sean, I don't know. He just might throw a blocker.
And number 7.
I think Coach Rolle was looking at him, sizing him up. Maybe he wanted to suit up for tonight's game.
Well, we're set for the kickoff as the Bulls will open tonight's contest. The kick is short. It's taken at the 32, bobbled, and Northwestern is on it at the 32-yard line. Emmanuel Page, the fullback, covers it on special teams, and Northwestern gets the first break of this ball game at the 32-yard line of Jackson.
Great call. And I'll tell you why. They didn't want the Jackson return men getting the ball and having a big play. The worst thing that can happen is Jackson gets the ball at the 32-yard line. Best thing that can happen, Emmanuel Page recovers an onside kick.
He celebrates on the far sideline. Allison Sheffield is the quarterback, and before we can have a snap from scrimmage, we get a penalty marker thrown. Perhaps too much time taken. I don't know. We'll see what the referee, Willie Robinson, has for us. Offside encroachment, the call against Jackson, so a rough start for the Generals here.
That's simply just lining up offside. They hadn't even gotten set to start the play.
Now it's Allison Sheffield under center, number 12. 4 wide receivers. The handoff goes to Torrey Cox. He breaks the tackle. Crosses the 15. Stumbles across the 10. Reaches the 8. Close to a 20-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage for Torrey Cox.
On gridiron, we say on the 7th day he rested, but on the 8th day he created Torrey Cox. They spread the field. He takes it straight upfield. And look at the extra effort. You will see that all night from Torrey Cox. This is a guy that doesn't know how to go out of bounds.
They mark him at the 9 after an 18-yard gain. Cox gets it again, and he is tackled after a pickup of about 1. James Dumerville, number 95, brings him down.
Dumerville, a very special player, only a junior, maybe their best defensive lineman.
2nd and goal now for the Bulls as we have a look at their offensive alignment, brought to you by the new Dodge.
Cox and Page, Finney and Bryant, and David Williams, the tight end. Up front, Carey, Denson, McFarley, Guillaume, and Shellman. But watch for Carey to be at guard tonight.
A lot of beef on that front line, but a lot of talent, too. And they open a hole for Cox up the middle. He reaches the 5 on a pickup of 3. And it will be 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Look at that Jackson defense. Let's run down the lineup for you. Brought to you by the new Dodge.
Gashlin, Trillia, Oliver, Dumerville, Roll, Stewart, and Green are the backers. And in the secondary, Ellick, Williams, Curry, Burns, he's a good one, and Johnson.
The Bulls recover the opening kickoff, setting up this drive. The pitch to Cox, and he's got nowhere to go. The Generals swarm and take him down. Linebacker James Green led the charge with great penetration.
James Green knows how to run upfield, but Northwestern on that play got away what got them down there. They went to a power set, double tight power backfield with 3 in the middle. They know they're going to run. Jackson brought everyone right after Cox.
That makes it 4th and goal back at the 9-yard line. And Manny Vialta, number 84, is on to kick. The attempt for the field goal is good. So the Bulls strike first. They get some points out of the first break of this huge ball game and take a 3-0 lead with 9:50 remaining in the opening quarter.
That's going to be big for confidence. Both kicking games have struggled all years. That's going to give Northwestern some confidence in their kicking game, getting those opening couple points.
Well, Jackson will now try to respond. 31-yard field goal by Vialta. Mesa has put the Bulls on top first. Joe Redmond a little upset by the start of things. As we see, Northwestern has jumped out on top with their 8-0 record, 5-0 in the district. Jackson also 5-0 in the district, but they committed 7-1 after a season-opening loss to Miami High of 16-12.
One of the tougher losses that Jackson's had in the past 2 years. They went up against Miami High, who has made a late surge, but they have maybe the best player in the state in Andre Johnson. They got the better of him at the end. Jackson made a lot of penalties, but since that loss, Jackson has been on a roll.
Position awaits the Generals on the first chance for them to handle the ball. They'll start at the 30-yard line.
Jones returning kicks, and he also had a couple touchdowns a week ago. And out comes Ronnie Jones, the quarterback. He didn't start the season, Rick, at quarterback. It was King Hall. But after a midseason injury, Ronnie Jones has come in, and he's 3-0 as a starter. But we might see Hall for the first time tonight. We haven't seen him in 3 games for Jackson.
Jones out of the shotgun has 4 wideouts, actually 5. As they look to go to the air early on, he rolls, trying to get away from Anthony Dixon, and no go there. He's dropped for a loss of 6.
They may have 5 wide, Rick, but that's not going to stop Northwestern from what they do best, and that's bring the house.
Here's the Generals offense brought to you by the new Dodge.
Logan and Gibbs, and there's Capers, Huggins, and Jones. Butler, Abrego, Parks, Timms, and Smith.
Generals off to a slow start here. Their first play from scrimmage resulted in a 5-yard sack of Ronnie Jones. 2nd and 15. They keep 2 backs in. Little added protection. Jones fires. It's nearly picked off. As Levy Brown nearly had the interception at the 30-yard line.
Levy Brown, he's their starting strong safety, but tonight he's at linebacker. They want an extra DB, and they're playing linebacker that can cover, and he almost came up with a big play.
Here's the Northwestern defense, brought to you by the new Dodge.
Cade, Dixon, Yarborough in the middle, and double vision, the 2 Weaver twins on the end. Swain, Worth, and Simpson, Brown, and Brown.
And those Weaver twins, that's Jermel wearing 97, Jarrell 98. At least we hope so the next shot. 3rd down at 15, Jones connects. He's got Stephen Logan, and Logan crosses the 45-yard line, and he's got a first down up near midfield. Logan's a fine running back, but he's also an outstanding receiver.
Logan, he's 12th in the county with 16 catches and 252 yards. You have to respect his ability to catch. What a great move. He slips out and is able to run down the sideline and get a first down. Big play for the Generals.
Tavares Capers came back and threw a great block for him, too, as they will get a new set of downs from the 48-yard line. Jones hands it off to Logan. Can't find any room up the middle. Arthur Cave, 85, celebrates the tackle. He's up in that powerful front line along with the Weavers, Anthony Dixon, and Brandon Yarborough. 2nd down and almost 10. Backs kept in as Jones operates out of the shotgun. And he fires over the middle. And he's got Capers at the 40 and the 39-yard line of Northwestern. And that's enough for a first down on the pickup of 13.
Now watch Logan. He releases, but they're going to keep Gibbs in the block. They have to worry about the Weaver twins. Jones does a great job staying in there. Capers, he'll find the seam, the soft spot in the man-to-man coverage, and it's up to the quarterback to get him, and they got another first down.
Pretty good numbers on the season for Capers. The handoff out of that shotgun formation. A short gain there for Stephen Logan, number 2, as Brandon Yarborough Arbor, 96, in on the tackle.
There's going to be a real battle between the Weaver twins on the ends because they like to come full force after the quarterback. Jackson knows it. Instead of trying to stop him, what they're going to try to do tonight is use their aggression against him. Look for screens tonight for Jackson.
Ronnie Jones, back to pass. Throws short, and he connects with Cyril Jones. He's marked down at the 34-yard line. Sidney Simpson, number 1. The cornerback comes up to make the tackle on a pickup of 4, and that will leave them 3rd and 5.
You got to give credit to Ronnie Jones. This is his 4th start. He's doing it in the Soul Bowl in front of 30,000 people, and after a shaky first play where he got sacked, he's found Capers, and he's found Cyril Jones picking up a couple first downs.
Now it's Jones under center. With Cyril Jones in motion, the handoff goes to Logan. He's caught in the backfield, and down he goes. Quentin Swain, 52, got the penetration to make the tackle on Logan, dropping him for a loss.
You know, Quentin Swain watches a lot of film because every time that Jackson puts a man in motion from the boundary, they always like to run to the right side. You see the man in motion, and they go away from the motion, and in comes Quentin Swain.
They'll be looking at a 4th and 8 coming up. Sunshine Network's coverage of the Florida High School Champion Series is brought to you by the new Dodge and by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Either have it in you or you don't. Life's a sport. Drink it up.
Dodge Ram was the first and is still the only full-size pickup to be ranked most appealing by J.D. Power & Associates. It was the first to offer a 10-cylinder engine, and it was the first quad-cab. And now, for the first time, we're offering $1,000 back on the truck that changed the rules. But hurry, this is one first that won't last. $1,000 cash back on all new 98 Rams in stock.
Step right up.
Would you like to dance?
Garth, you lead.
Tonight's coverage of Northwestern and Jackson on the Florida High School Champion Series is brought to you in part by Church's Chicken. On 4th and 8 from the 37, the Generals will punt, and it's Keith Brown on the return. He's heading for the sideline. Arthur Stewart flings him into bounds to the 43. A huge return for Yule Brown, number 4, and once again, it'll be the Bulls working with a short field.
Keith Brown might be one of the best players ever to be on Gridiron Report all year. He plays defensive back. He has 3 interceptions, a couple touchdowns off those interceptions, including a 91-yarder against Central that sealed the game for Northwestern 2 weeks ago. Here he returns kicks, and he only has 1 man to beat, and it was a great job by using the boundary. Great tackle, throwing him out of bounds. But Keith Brown, only a junior, very special defensive back for the Bulls.
45-yard return by Brown. Penalty markers are down as we look at the 5'8 junior, weighs 160 pounds. And the officials headed tonight by Willie Robbins.
Dead ball. Dead ball. First and 5, green. We got enough. I have enough dead ball, 5, green. Both of them.
Wow, 2 dead ball fouls against the Generals. I think the first one was on that tackle by Stewart, as Brown was apparently out of bounds when Stewart flung him down.
Here comes Brown, and here comes Arthur Stewart. He's the starting linebacker for Jackson, and it was very close to the boundary, but I think the excessiveness of the tackle is what drew the flag from the official.
You're right, Sean. Stewart forced him out, but once he crossed the sideline,
field and let his athletic ability be the difference. But against Jackson, athleticism is the norm out here. No one's going to have a real big advantage against anyone. And there you see his numbers, leading Dade County in rushing this season.
Cox picked up 4 in that carry. Ball at the 10, second down and 6. 3 wideouts to the right. And the handoff to Cox, and he is caught just as soon as he gets the handoff. He is dropped to the turf by Cyril Covington, number 13.
2 weeks ago, Central lined up everybody in the box just to stop Torrey Cox. Here you can see some of the best defensive front players in the state of Florida lining up for Jackson. You can see that they're going to try to stop Cox and let Allen Sheffield try to win the game passing the ball.
Both these teams like to roll the dice with a 4 and 5 wideouts, and the Bulls paid the price there. Sheffield hit as he throws, and his delivery is short. Intended for Howard Lewis on that far side. Edward Rolle got to Sheffield, and that'll bring up 4th down and about 10 from the 15.
Boy, you couldn't have said it any better. From your words to Coach Redmond's ears, rolling the dice. They had Edward Rolle lined up against the slot, and right as the ball was snapped, he came flying in off the corner, got some pressure on Sheffield, unable to complete that pass.
Manny Vialta attempting a 32-yard field goal attempt. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Got under that one a bit. It's going to be short and wide to the right. So the Bulls, despite the huge punt return and gift field position with 30 additional yards and back-to-back penalties against Jackson, are unable to capitalize, and our score remains 3-0 with 4:18 to go in the first.
Well, they were able to get the first field goal, but both teams' kicking games are not very good, and I think you saw a little bit of that right there. The kick was way too high. He got under it. They don't have great kickers at either school.
The new Dodge Florida High School Champion Series continues on Sunshine Network Thursday, featuring an exciting matchup between Jacksonville Reigns and Jacksonville Ed White. Game time set for 7 p.m. Thursday, only on Sunshine Network. Generals take over at the 20 following the missed field goal. And it's Ronnie Jones back to throw. And Tavares Capers couldn't pick it off the shoe tops. It's incomplete.
Well, Jackson's going to go with what brought him here, and that's lining up in the gun, putting the 2 backs in the backfield, keeping 1 in, sending Logan out, and then just trying to confuse the secondary of Northwestern. They've done it all season, and they have the quarterback. Coach Redmond teaches them. They have the guy that can pull the trigger.
2nd and 10 from the 20 for Jackson. Jones fires. Capers has this one, escapes a couple of balls and heads for the sideline. He is collared on the far side and knocked out of bounds near midfield. Penalty marker down, though, back near the 30-yard line. We'll have to wait for that to be settled.
Illegal block on the offense.
You look at tonight's officials. Lee Robinson, the referee. The illegal block goes against the Generals. That'll bring back a big gain as finally Capers was collared over there by James Gerald.
Well, in our open, we saw Northwestern preach discipline, discipline, discipline. So far for Jackson, they've had a rough go of it here. Field position, mistakes, and now penalties, keeping them from having any kind of successful offense. That could have been it right there. Now comes the flag. Great work by the guys down in the truck to pick that one up. Could have been like a leg whip, but look at that throw. Granted, this is coming back, but that's a great throw by Ronnie Jones, getting it over there to Tavares Capers, who was up against Keith Brown.
That was the illegal block. They bring it back to the 16-yard line, and it's 2nd down all over again. And the pass by Ronnie Jones over the head of Cyril Jones, and he's jumping up and down looking for an interference call. But it doesn't appear like they're going to get it, and as a result, it will be 3rd down and 14.
Sidney Simpson, he got away with one there. Basically put his hand out and started dancing with Cyril Jones at the 40-yard line, and the referee missed it. Northwestern gets a break.
Ronnie Jones trying to help his team dig out of a hole here. You see they're down 3-0, but with the mistakes. And John, it kind of sounds like what we were talking about in Gainesville last week. Early on with Buchholz, with the mistakes that they made, they ended up coming back to win. It could be worse here for the Generals. Jones is clobbered as he throws, and it's well over the head of Stephen Logan.
Pick your poison. You want Jarrell Weaver or do you want Jermel Weaver? Because sooner or later, they're going to pin their ears back, and they are going to get you. And that time, Jarrell Weaver comes flying through. Jarrell, if you want a somewhat difference between the two, Jarrell is the bigger of the two. He's bigger, he's stronger. But Jermel, he's actually the quicker one. But I'll tell you right now, both of them were born with rockets up the rear end because they are the two fastest defensive ends in this state, without a doubt. Nobody can compare to them.
4th and 14 from the 16. Carlos Martinez just gets that kick away. I don't know how that one wasn't blocked. The Bulls are content to let that ball hit, and it stops right at midfield. So once again, Billy Roll's Bulls will have excellent field position to try to build on a 3-0 lead following the 34-yard punt.
Let's take a look at the two ends. Northwestern gets a block in almost every game. Here comes Sidney Simpson. Here comes Levy Brown. Levy Brown is incredibly dangerous coming off the corner. That time, Generals were able to get off the punt. Good contain up the middle.
Allenson Sheffield, number 12. Start this possession right from midfield. Out of the I formation. More traditional look here from the Bulls. And it's Cox with the help of some blocking straight ahead, but he was forced back, and a huge hit there by Arthur Stewart, number 1, the linebacker.
You think Arthur Stewart is thinking about that penalty he had a couple plays ago? Look at this, steps right up into the hole. Torrey Cox didn't even see him. What's even impressive about that play, Arthur Stewart had a block on him, was able to get off the block and get in there and make the tackle. And look at the helmet job that Arthur's got. He's got a couple decals. He's got a couple extra ones in there. Hey, they might be your favorite team. You're a big Packer guy. I know that.
Look just like him. 6-yard gain by Cox, though 2nd and 4. Sheffield rolls out, completes the pass to Lamont Finney. He's got the first down inside the 30. He'll mark him at the 29-yard line. Ben Johnson, number 5, over to make the tackle along with Xavier Williams, 27. And Finney is limping to the sidelines. Let's check in with James.
Guys, Arthur Stewart, the linebacker for Jackson, he's only 5'9", 180 pounds, but he's playing like a giant. Has made some huge plays here tonight. 2 plays ago, one of the best linebacker plays I've seen all year. Shedded a block and made a big stick.
Boy, Batesy's got to like that.
He loves that great linebacker play.
16-yard hookup from Sheffield to Finney, who limped to the sidelines. Cox looks for room, marker down, and he reaches the 27-yard line before Arthur Stewart lands another big hit.
Apparently, Finney was a little bit banged up coming into the game because when we were down on the field, the coaches were having him run up and down.
Defense.
As we get the penalty there.
Holding indicated against Northwestern. Yeah, it appeared from the warm-up that Finney was limping just a bit.
But I asked the coach, and I said, is anything wrong with Lamont? Oh, no, nothing's wrong with him. Not giving anything away.
Not for this.
Like, coach, he's limping. No, he's fine.
He'll mark it back at the 38. It'll be first down again. First down and 19.
Well, they've been coming with Cox. They're in the I formation. They ran the pass, and they come about bring it one more time, but there's going to be a holding somewhere in that mess, and out comes the flag.
Once again, the Bulls operate out of the eye. Play action. Sheffield rolling, looking deep. And it is over the head of Antonio Bryant, number 88. He was looking both ways, trying to haul that one in. And Sheffield with a good play fake and plenty of time to look for it.
If it's one thing that the Northwestern Bulls can do, and that's block, and you can see him up there. There's no penetration. And with the play action that Allenson Sheffield has been using, he's able to buy himself some time. But downfield, great coverage, and I guess there's nobody faster on the field than number 5, Ben Johnson. That's a quick safety.
Taken after his namesake. 2nd and 19 now from the 38 of Jackson. Northwestern leading 3-0. They've been threatening time and again in this first quarter. Now it's Sheffield taking off. Close to a first down. Xavier Williams, 27, chased him out. See where they mark him.
The pocket breaks down, but this is what Allison Sheffield does so well. Touchdown, but watch number 3 come in. James Gerald, great crackback block, frees him up and gets very close to the first down.
And he's got it, reaching the 18.
You see the protection? It breaks down a little bit, and out goes Sheffield. But watch number 3, James Gerald. Hello, great block.
First and 10 from the 18. And it's Cox for a short gain. Edward Rolle, 45, in on the stop. Torrey Cox, the hero of last year's matchup here at the Orange Bowl, as he scored the winning touchdown in overtime. Second down and 10 from the 18. See the clock moving. We're late here in the first quarter of the Soul Bowl from the Orange Bowl. Play action. Sheffield steps inside one rusher, looks short, and completes the pass. Sheffield took a hit to complete that pass to Rashad Smith, number 19, and he gets it down to the Jackson 10-yard line. It'll be third and short.
The one thing about Dade County football that's different from the rest of the state is the speed and the hitting. That time Sheffield did a great job of eluding Lewis Gashlin, gets the pass off to Smith just to pick up a couple yards.
Edward Rolle registers another big hit on that tackle. Two wideouts to the right. High formation behind Allison Sheffield. And he hands it off to Cox around left end and in for the touchdown. On the third try, Northwestern breaks through for 6 points to make it 9-0. Short punt. They capitalize for 7 points.
There's 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and I think Coach Joe Redmond can't wait for this first quarter to be over.
Generals were rushing Stephen Logan onto the field as one of the deep men. Now we're set for the kickoff. And it's Rashad Smith with a nice reception on that drive, setting up the touchdown run, swimming one out of bounds at the 24. And the officials, I think, are conferring whether that ball was touched or it went out clean and would bring the penalty flag.
We've seen a lot of this. Teams do not want to chip deep anymore. They'd rather just kick it short and just give teams the ball at the 35. Don't want the big play.
Generals have the option here of having Northwestern kick over or taking it at the 35. As Sean indicates, and the Generals will do just that. They'll take it from the 35-yard line.
But that's okay. Northwestern, with their defense, they don't want a big play to get the Jackson crowd back into it. So they'll concede kicking the ball, squib it up in the air, make it hard to receive. If it goes out of bounds, okay, we'll bring our best 11 out on defense and make you drive 65 yards.
Now, you know the Bulls know how to play with a lead. They're in the lead all the time, week in, week out. So they know how to play it conservative at the right time. Logan on the carry for the Generals picks up Good yardage. 6 yards there for Stephen Logan as the clock will wind down, ending the first quarter of play here at the Orange Bowl. Northwestern has jumped out in front 10-0 in the 1998 Soul Bowl over Jackson Senior High.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Deardorff. Where would you go for a home equity loan? Let's ask.
Well, banks have the best rates.
But banks only lend money when you don't need it.
Advanta National Bank is different. They lend money to people when they need it.
Right. With my credit?
They made their first loans 45 years ago to teachers who had trouble borrowing. They helped out when others wouldn't.
This is a bank, right?
With customers who get the flexibility only a national bank can offer, right over the phone.
Got to move all your accounts there.
Nope, just call Advanta. One of their loan specialists will show you how to use the equity in your home to pay off all of your bills. Get one low monthly payment and save hundreds of dollars a month, plus a tax deduction.
You wait for some board to approve.
You'll get fast approval over the phone. And your money in about 10 days. You don't need to have money in the bank to get money from a bank. To get the loan you want, call Advanta at 1-800-398-6880. You'll see they're different. Hey, they don't keep bankers' hours either.
The New Taj High School Champion Series. High school football is more than just a game. It is enthusiasm, rivalry, and all-out excitement. Jacksonville Reigns and Jacksonville Ed White, Thursday at 7 on Sunshine.
The New Dodge Florida High School Champion Series on Sunshine Network is brought to you in part by Dairy Farmers. Got milk? First play of the second quarter. Stephen Logan breaking into the Northwestern secondary, picking up 19 yards to the Bulls' 40-yard line. Let's check in with Batesy.
Guys, you know it's war when your principal wears his fatigues to the game. Joining me now is Jackson Principal Lewis Allen Jr. And Mr. Allen, talk about this week at school. It's so exciting here today. It must have been a fun week at school.
It was an exciting week for us this week as we are prepared for this annual classic against Northwestern Senior High School. And we're just excited about it. And right now we're not feeling too well. The score is 10-0, and hopefully it's gut check time to see whether we're going to do what we need to do to get back in this football game.
Right, they just had a big play and getting their mind back on the winning track. But as far as their minds on the books all week, it seems like it'd be a hard week to keep your mind on the books. But I know you are proud of the way this football team and all of your students have, not just this week, but throughout the year, kept their mind on academics.
Yeah, and we stress academics first before anything as it relates to athletics. Our kids understand and realize that they're not going to get on the playing field unless they do what they have to do in the classroom. That's what we really stress with our kids.
All right. Thank you, and go cheer your guys on. Thank you very much, Mr. Allen.
All right, Keith Brown nearly picked off a pass and ran it back for 6. We'll have another look here, Sean.
This is a guy you don't want to test, Keith Brown, and that time they did, and great job. He has incredible explosion, great ability to close on a receiver, and that time he nearly had an interception for the Bulls.
It is 3rd down and 12 facing the Generals. They've been looking at 3rd and long a lot here in this first half. And they get the Bulls to jump. If it is indeed at Northwestern offside, it would certainly help the Jackson cause. And they will walk it off against Northwestern.
Well, we'll take a peek at the penalty.
That ball, encroachment, defense.
Rick, I think one of the things that surprised us this week is the talking within the media. It was almost like a professional game, the way they were talking to each other, using reporters, saying how they were going to do this to them and that. It had that kind of college game, pro game kind of feel.
Sure did. 3rd and 7. Ronnie Jones fires, and Tavares Capers trying to grab it. It could be a simultaneous possession with Keith Brown getting his hands in there. And they indicate that the ball will belong to Jackson. A penalty marker was thrown in there. Perhaps Brown over the back as the officials talk it over. And it's close to where the Generals need to reach for the first down.
Pass in here. Green, look here.
Let's take a peek here, Rick. Capers comes up, in comes Brown. Oh, that's a real iffy call right there. Brown did a great job. I mean, I'll tell you what, Coach Rolle will see that and say, I want you to do that every time. That time he got caught flag, but I bet you 9 times out of 10 he doesn't.
defensive player, the offensive player have an equal opportunity to that ball, and that's the way that looked. However, it's all for naught because Capers makes the catch.
And that was a great throw. Ronnie Jones got that ball off right as Levy Brown put him right to the turf with an exhilarating shot. So both these quarterbacks are feeling both defenses tonight.
With the mark-off following the penalty, 1st and 10 from the 21. It's Logan. He's dragged down from behind by James Gerald, number 3. And he picks up close to 5 yards. So the Generals, with their deepest penetration into Northwest territory, looking to get on the board here early in the second.
Stephen Logan, he has 677 yards. We also mentioned he's 12th in the county in receiving, 7 touchdowns. He's known as sweet and low to his teammates.
He's averaging 4 yards a carry, 28 yards and 7 carries so far in this ball game. 2nd and 5 from the 15. Look at 2nd and 4. And it's Ronnie Jones escaping one tackler, but he cannot get away from Issa Gary, number 60, who traps him in the backfield for a loss.
Capers coming up, and then he makes a great move on the post corner against Brown, but really Ronnie Jones had no time to get rid of this. Look, as soon as he does the play action, here comes Jermel Weaver. He's just trying to get away from Gary at this point.
Textbook example of how to turn a play in by a defensive end to set up that tackle. Here's Jones running, throwing, and it's complete for the touchdown. Luther Huggins, number 8, on the catch. The Generals are on the board. They trail 10-6 pending the point after touchdown attempt.
Watch Jerome Weaver. We said they're going to use his aggressiveness against him. He didn't contain. He lets Ronnie Jones get outside. And what a great pass to Huggins.
16 yards on the connection from Ronnie Jones to Luther Huggins. Carlos Martinez adds the extra point. And the Generals on the board here in the second quarter with 9:22 to go in the first half. It's 10-7 Northwestern in the Soul Bowl.
Go for glory. Play for prizes. The NFL is now accepting applications from men, women, boys, and girls. Everybody will be playing NFL Air It Out 4-on-4 flag football. Will you?
For more information on the Pert Plus presents the Miami Dolphins NFL Air It Out, call the hotline at 1-800-680-PLAY.
Stay with us after tonight's coverage of the 1998 Soul Bowl. It's Sunshine Network Live, so be sure to stay with us. Low kick. And the Bulls will bring it back near the 40-yard line. Theodore Richardson, number 36, a wide receiver, was brought down at the 38. And it's Allenson Sheffield leading his offense on the field. Well, they've been in control in terms of field position and time of possession, but they're only up 3 here. On an extra point to that touchdown. 10-7 our score here as Northwestern gets the ball for the 4th time. Short pass is completed to Antonio Bryant, number 88, the outstanding wideout of the Bulls. And he brings the ball up to the 43, a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Antonio Bryant, he came in from Coral Gables a year ago, and he has been a great wide receiver for Northwestern this year. Very difficult for him to transfer and make an impact, but he's done a great job.
2 wideouts to the near side. Cox penetration and pulled him down.
Andre Oliver, 5'11", 265 pounds, and that's being nice to Andre. But let me tell you something, he is about as unblockable as anybody on that defensive front. They claim they're the best defensive front in the state of Florida, and standing next to him, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't argue with him.
Now the Bulls 1 for 3 on third down. We're looking at a 3rd and 6 here from the 43, and Sheffield didn't like what he saw in that defensive lineup by the Generals, and he signals for a timeout.
And with that timeout,
Joe Redmond's team is rallying here in the second quarter. Looks like they've settled down, and let's have a look at how the polls stand going into the weekend. Sean?
The Dreadnoughts are our #1 team, and they are clearly the best 5A team. And as you go down the list, you see St. Thomas and South Plantation, 3 and 4. Tonight, they play for the district championship. There are a lot of great games tonight. If you take a look at Gainesville at #8, they have Buchholz, who we saw 1 week ago. The 4A poll, Jacksonville reigns in at #4. We'll see them next Thursday against Jacksonville Ed White, who we noticed was the #2 team in Class 5A. So every week it just seems to be getting better. Class 3A poll, Union County and Pahokee at 2. They might have the best player in the state of Florida in Anquan Bolden. Mr. Everything. I'll tell you what, the only thing that can stop Anquan Bolden for Pahokee is kryptonite.
It's not legal at the high school level, is it? They're down at 6 here for the Bulls. It's Sheffield rolling out. He'll keep it, and he won't get to the first down. Andre Oliver, he may be 5'11", 265, but he's a quick 265. Great pursuit to get over there and land a thundering hit on Sheffield to leave him a couple of yards short of a first down.
Louis Gashuin, who is one of the 4 men up front for Miami Jacksons, was quoted in the paper this week saying, "We will stop them like they have never been stopped before."
A lot of football to be played to see if that comes true. And it's 4th down and 2 near midfield. Levy Brown to punt. Cyril Jones on the reception, drops the ball, and the Bulls have it. Penalty marker down. Antonio Bryant recovers the ball. No marker down. They will take over the 15-yard line.
That was tough, Rick. They were throwing the beanbag down with the fumble. It looks like a flag, but at no flag. Let's take a peek at this one more time. He should have called fair catch. He chooses not to, and a super play. That is textbook football by Northwestern. James Gerald, he's been playing. He hasn't come off the field tonight. He plays wide receiver, defensive back, and then he makes the play on the punt coverage.
Another break for the Bulls. Short drop. They swing it out, and Koch trying to make sure that ball goes out of bounds. It was a lateral, and he tapped it out. They will mark it back at the 23-yard line, a loss of 8.
Heads-up play there by Torrey Cox. Here you'll see it's going to be a quick screen pass, but it actually ends up being a lateral. But look at the heads-up play by Torrey Cox, realizing that ball is still live, runs and just kicks it out of bounds. Even more impressive, he didn't try to pick it up and do something with it, just got it out of bounds.
Northwestern has shown good poise all night long in this game. However, they're looking at a 2nd and 18, and Koch has a clear path to the end zone. Marker's down in the end zone, probably for the taunt. But it's 23 yards for the score for Torrey Cox.
And if that is unsportsmanlike, that will back up the extra point 15 yards, and that's going to hurt them because Northwestern doesn't have a good kicking game either. Let's take a look at this. Northwestern doesn't do anything fancy. They bring the fullback up with the great block on the linebacker, and Torrey Cox says, "You chose me because you recognize the skills." Look at this, the left tackle, or the right tackle, right guard split. Great job by Emmanuel Page. He's one of the best blocking fullbacks in the state. Great job, and Torrey Cox does the rest.
Cox gets a well-deserved rest on the far side. They mark off the penalty.
that run back Torrey Cox
they-
is good for 23 yards.
Snap for the kick will originate from the 18-yard line. So now Billy Rolle will change it up here. As he sends...
Yeah, if you take a look at this game, Jackson has basically done everything to give Northwestern great field position. When Northwestern's forced to go the length of the field, Jackson's done great. But they've given him a couple short fields, and Northwestern has taken advantage.
Rolle reinserted Sheffield, the quarterback, and so from the 18, they will go for 2 here, leading 16-7.
This has to do with the fact that they don't have a very strong kicking game, as we saw in that one field goal.
Cox back in there, and we get a flag thrown.
Offside.
Now the Bulls could get that formation settled down, so they'll be backed up 5 more yards. Well, they incur 20 yards in penalties just to attempt an extra point here. They will start from the 23, which ironically happened to be the line of scrimmage for Torrey Cox's touchdown run.
Run the same play.
The same call, sure. Let's see. He's the lone setback. They fake it to him. Sheffield leaping, and he's tackled, so the conversion attempt is no good. And so James Dumerville prevented that 2-point attempt. We've got an injured Bull down on the field. And the score remains 16-7 Northwestern with 7:01 remaining here in the first half. And the injured player will be attended to. We'll step aside here in Sunshine Network. Our coverage of the Soul Bowl from the Orange Bowl continues in just a moment.
Sure, my old job gave me a paycheck, but it didn't give me much else. So I called ITT Tech. I always liked electronics, and with their help, I was able to turn what I like to do into what I'm paid to do. Now I have a job that gives me some real satisfaction, and something I never had before, a real future.
For an informative brochure, call ITT Tech at 1-800-446-4130. That's 1-800-446-4130. When he took apart my drill just to see how I worked, he made me mad. When he built his first radio to contact life on other planets, he made me laugh. When he picked electronics as a career, it made me think. But when he graduated from ITT Tech, he made me proud. For an informative brochure, call ITT Tech at 1-800-446-4130. That's 1-800-446-4130.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and I want to show you another great innovation in Craftsman hand tools. It's the Craftsman Quick Wrench, exclusively from Sears. The Quick Wrench is a combination wrench with a unique open-end design that makes it work like a ratchet. An ordinary open-end wrench has to be removed and repositioned after every turn. But the Craftsman Quick Wrench stays in continuous contact, making the job faster and easier. And what about those places where a ratchet and socket won't fit? That's where the Quick Wrench really comes in handy. It's made to reach right into tight spaces, and the ratcheting action gets the job done in no time. The Craftsman Quick Wrench can be used almost anywhere, in the garage, in the yard, and in your home. No toolbox is complete without a Quick Wrench set. And because it's a Craftsman hand tool made in America, it's guaranteed forever.
Call now to order your set of 6 Craftsman Quick Wrenches in standard or metric for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Use your Sears card or other credit card and call 1-800-832-5200. Call right now.
Welcome back to the Orange Bowl in Miami, the side of our coverage tonight on Sunshine Network of the New Dodge Florida High School Champion Series, the Soul Bowl, and Northwestern leads at 16-7. We'll see what happened to Vernon Carey here in the injury.
Number 68, Vernon Carey, you'll see he's at guard, and in comes Dumerville on the tackle, but he leg whips Carey from behind. That's the injury, but it appears Carey is okay.
Well, the kickoff will be brought back as the Bulls were offside, so they'll mark off 5 more yards against Northwestern. The Bulls lead 16-7, a pair of Torrey Cox touchdown runs of 10 yards and 23 yards have Billy Rolle's squad in front. They also had a game-opening field goal by Manny Vialta.
Big Vernon Carey, and talking to some high school evaluators, they say that he is the quintessential offensive lineman. 6'5", 330 pounds, and he is very nimble, moves like a 250-pound type player. Just very good feet, able to get low, extend his arms. There's not many that are as good as Vernon Carey, and we might see that at the end of the year when All-American teams start coming out.
The Bulls will re-kick from their 35. And the kick is taken short at the 22-yard line. Plenty of room for Stephen Logan. Gets across midfield. Sidney Simpson, number 1, in on the tackle. So the Generals working with a little field position here.
This is the first time that Jackson's really had some good starting field position in this ball game. Let's take a look at this one more time. Of course, Logan is their starting tailback. He gets the ball on the right side and brings it all the way back to the left. Does a great job utilizing his speed. But then he just gets tripped up by his own player trying to make a move, allows Northwestern to catch up from him from behind. But Logan doing a great job for the Generals tonight.
Generals start for the 49 with Logan. He ducked under a huge hit at that line of scrimmage thrown by Quentin Swain, number 52. Swain wanted to get a little bigger piece of young Mr. Logan than he did.
Well, Stephen Logan comes in at 5'8", and I'm sure Quentin Swain had his way on that play. That Logan would be about 5'3".
Logan picked up 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Generals down 9 here in the second quarter. Jones out of the shotgun. Ronnie looking deep. And he throws it too far for Cyril Jones, who had his man Simpson beaten down the sideline. Let's check in with Batesy downstairs.
Guys, talking to the Northwestern trainers, Vernon just came off with a slight ankle sprain, but nothing will keep him off the field tonight. This is too big for him to stay on the sidelines.
Thanks, James.
Sounds like James wants to strap on Vernon's pads. Hey, if you can't go, Vernon, I'll go. I'll go.
Shows you the resiliency of youth. It looked like a pretty serious leg roll there, and fortunately, Vernon Carey not seriously injured on that. 3rd down and 7. Jones 4 of 10, 67 yards, 1 touchdown for the Generals so far. He's looking deep down the near side. He's got capers, but it's over his head and out of bounds. Ewell Brown, number 4, was on the coverage. He was beaten on that and limped a bit slightly at the end of that play, but twice Ronnie Jones has had open men down the sidelines.
Well, it's not entirely Ronnie Jones's fault. That time we've been talking about the Weavers, but number 85, Arthur Cave, came through and laid a licking on Jones. Had to release that ball a half a second before he wanted to, and that is what forced the errant pass.
4th and 7 now coming up from the 46. And we've got a timeout on the field as the Bulls gather near their bench. And the Generals are doing likewise, gathering actually more toward the center of the field, Sean.
We've talked about the intensity of this game and how important it is for the communities. But in talking to the coaches, they have another reason that they want to win this game. If you take a look at the playoff brackets, the loser of this game will get the district champion in District 13. And who is that? The 2-time defending 6A champions, the Carroll City Chiefs. Nobody wants a part of them in the first round.
Wow, that's a tough go right off the bat. They'll tune into Sunshine Network Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. for the Gridiron Report, hosted by my partner Sean Alveshire for all the latest on high school football in Florida. The Gridiron Report, Thursdays at 4:30 on Sunshine Network.
I have never missed that show in 5 years. Great television. Great television.
It's a pretty sterling record, Sean.
I'm like Cal Ripken of the Gridiron Report. I haven't missed one yet.
We're just glad to have you show up for work. I understand that's not always the case with you, but...
You know, I'm taking a look at this crowd here, and they opened up the end zone. That was originally closed off. Pretty soon they might have to open up the upper deck. This is a crowd.
This crowd has swelled considerably from the start of the game. We expected perhaps more than 30,000 fans, and of course, we expect a pretty good audience statewide looking in tonight on Sunshine Network, and certainly the crowd here at the Orange Bowl has not disappointed us.
Well, there was some talk to the athletic directors of both teams, like, well, doing the game live, will that hurt attendance? And they're saying, oh, no, the Soul Bowl's an event. There's only one place to be on Friday night, and that's in the Orange Bowl. And I think most of Dade County has shown up tonight.
Well, we'll have a chance at halftime to visit with some Miami-Dade County school officials, get their perspectives on the academics involving this area of the state, as well as highlights as the punt is short, but bounces. Yule Brown picks it up at the 11. He's down immediately at the 13-yard line. DeJuan West, 54 on the tackle. 35-yard kick. And midway through this second quarter, the Bulls have the ball once again, but with their worst field position so far tonight, they're 12.
Yeah, unfortunately for Northwestern, Jackson wasn't kind enough to give them the ball deep in their own territory. They're going to make Northwestern try to drive the whole field this time.
Yeah, they've had drives that started from the 32, from the 15. They've had one at midfield.
We might be calling them the generous generals here in the first half.
As a result, they've got almost as many points as they have offensive yards. They haven't had to go very far to score tonight, and they lead at 16-7. Torrey Cox on the carry, reaching the 15 for a pickup of 3.
Well, we've already broken a scoring record. These defenses, Jackson coming in at average giving up 6, Northwestern average giving up only 3. It's 16-7. We have a shootout on our hands.
Yeah, the way these two teams play defense, absolutely. Cox, the tailback out of the eye. He gets the handoff, dives ahead, and down he goes, reaching the 17. James Dumerville will be calling his name a lot tonight, number 95, on that Generals defense on the tackle.
Let's take a look at the All-American. You think he's healthy? Look at this. He gets his claws into Bushnell Triolea and just puts him to the ground. And there's a term for that, and it's called a pancake.
It looks like Andre Denson is an injured player on the field, one of the starting guards of the Bulls, number 62, and with 5:13 to play in the half, we get another injury break here for Northwestern as they work on his left leg. Anthony Shellman, 66, attending to his fallen comrade. Denson, part of that very fine offensive line for Northwestern.
And that offensive line, they were moving some people around. Coming into this game, we were real excited about the matchup of Vernon Carey, number 68, going up against the junior, number 95, James Dumerville of the Jackson Generals. But Coach Rolle tries to trick things up a little bit. He's moved Vernon Carey, who's played left tackle his entire career. They've moved him to left guard. One of the questions about Carey was whether he could run block. Well, he's shown he can block for Torrey tonight.
Billy will have to reach into his bench here to replace Denson as we look at the chicken mascot on the sideline representing one of our sponsors, Church's Chicken.
James, he does that every week. You know, every week he gets in one of those outfits. It's nice to see him getting into the action down there.
I think he had that one left over from Halloween. Works for Church's on the side.
I saw him waving to me from the sidewalk the other day.
3rd and 5, Allenson Sheffield throws, and it's...
The phone's in the back.
I'm not ruining tonight, am I?
No, it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah, no, I understand.
That they need to start looking towards. And Levy Brown goes back here, and be careful.
They are looking at 4th down and 4 from the 18-yard line. Ronnie Jones and the Generals anxious to get their hands on the ball, and they'll have to wait a few more moments before they'll be able to do that. For more insight into high school athletics and sports in Florida, click on SunshineNetwork.com, offering news, notes, and opinions by some of the state's best sports columnists and reporters. SunshineNetwork.com, your web source for Florida sports.
And for those of you watching tonight, and obviously you love high school football, if you go on SunshineNetwork.com, go into preps and take a look at Buddy Collingsworth, one of the finest high school writers in the country, working for Sunshine Network on that webpage. Does an outstanding job.
Speaking of outstanding, look at this crowd at the Orange Bowl tonight.
They're still coming.
Yeah,
you didn't believe me. I said second quarter, we'll still be getting people.
Levy Brown on to punt now. Cyril Jones will take it to the 48. Trying to get outside and pick up a block. No doing there. He is brought down by David Williams, number 82. And so the Generals still, with no punt return, will have good field position after the 30-yard punt by Levy Brown. They'll start at the 47 of Northwestern.
Well, one of the questions was answered. Jackson, will they come out like they always do? Will they spread the field? The answer is yes. The question was, will Northwestern stick with what they do and bring everybody? The answer to that has been yes.
Ronnie Jones hands off. And this time it's the fullback on the carry, picking up some pretty good yardage. Running hard there, Ricky Gibbs, number 34.
Gibbs does a thankless job, as most fullbacks do at any level, and that's blocked for the tailback. The tailback gets all the publicity, but the fullback does the job blocking for him. And the rushing yards for Jackson, 34 yards, but they are primarily a passing team, so that can be somewhat misleading.
Torrey Cox has 64 of those 87 Northwestern rushing yards here in the first half. 2nd and 5. Ronnie Jones heaves it down the sidelines. Cyril Jones closed out this time by Sidney Simpson, number 1.
Sidney Simpson, this was that wheel route that he was beaten on earlier. This time did an excellent job keeping with his man and allowing him nowhere to go. Here we'll get a great look at it. Watch Simpson in his back pedal, and he sees it coming and then just opens up his hips and just runs with them. Nowhere to go on that play.
3rd down and 5. 4:04 to go here in this first half. Jones has plenty of time. Lofts one down the sidelines. Well out of the reach, though, of Tavares Capers, number 7. And he's pointing at the defender, Yul Keith Brown, number 4, saying that he was bumped illegally down the sideline, but the officials are hearing nothing of it. And it will be 4th down for the Generals and 5 yards to go from the 42 of Northwestern.
Something we have to take a look at. Ronnie Jones did not start the season as the Jackson quarterback. It was King Hall, and right now, even though he's been out for 3 games, is the 3rd leading passer in Dade County. With that ineffective series for Jackson, does Coach Redmond go to King Hall?
Perhaps we'll see sooner than later. They might have time for one more possession. Here's a short snap, and the ball was fumbled. As Arthur Stewart got it, he's the up back in that punt formation, and did not have a chance to try to reach the first down on 4th and 5. The ball flew out of his hands. The Bulls take over on downs anyway, and they'll get it at the 43.
Obviously, Coach Redmond, thinking that he had to try to generate something here before the end of the half, takes a chance, trusting his defense if they didn't get it.
Cox, the motion man, as Allenson Sheffield and the Bulls are back on the attack. Sheffield on the short drop. He's got Bryant for a pickup of 3. Tackled quickly by Edward Rolle, number 45.
Play by the Bulls. They put Cox in motion. That's going to stretch the linebackers out, and then they bring it back to the far side. You see Cox has already left your screen. He's to the right side. They stretch the defense to that side. Come back to Bryant.
Gain of about 2 yards.
From the 46 now, Sheffield, you look at his first half numbers. Had a couple of big gains on the ground, too. One of 19 yards for a first down to add to the offense. Leaps, fakes the pass. Now he's going to keep it. Nice move around Williams. Picks up a block, and down the sidelines he goes to the 34-yard line. What a block thrown by Howard Lewis, number 13. And Sheffield was off and running.
Let's take a peek at this. You'll see Howard Lewis release it, and you'll see Torrey Cox release. Great play by Sheffield. His tight end, David Williams, wasn't open. But watch the downfield blocks. First, you'll see Torrey Cox in there. Then a great crackback by Howard Lewis. These guys get a lot of publicity for their catches. You don't really see them do a lot of the hard, gritty work making blocks downfield. There you did.
Sheffield picks up 18 yards down to the Jackson 34. Cox right up the middle for a short gain of 2. Lewis Gashelin, number 42, in on the tackle along with Arthur Stewart, number 1. Clock running, 2:47 and counting. The Bulls trying to add to a 16-7 first half lead.
The Northwestern Bulls do nothing fancy in their running game. They don't like to pull anybody. They don't like doing those things. Coach Rolle said we have them in our offense, but we just like to run straight ahead. This is interesting. They're running straight at one of the best front fours, and they're getting away with it. They are moving the ball up the middle against the Jackson front line.
They moved it up the middle. They've been able to find success outside. Now Sheffield fires, and it's off the hands of David Williams. He was open over the middle. Sheffield paid the price. He was belted as he threw. That was Gashelin, number 42, who got to him on the rush.
Well, Gashelin stated he was going to live in the general backfield, and he is here. Sheffield back to pass, and in comes Gashelin. It also looks like number 95 got in there, James Dumerville, with the hit on Sheffield as well.
He was going to live in the backfield. He was in the general vicinity. The general tried to set up camp there.
No.
3rd and 8 from the 32 for the Bulls. Northwestern out of the eye. They fake the handoff to Cox. Sheffield on the run. Penalty marker down. Sheffield is tackled at the 36. And it's Dumerville and Gashelin, 42, the right side of that defensive line, working once again.
Boy, when that pocket collapses, it's almost an automatic flag.
Fourth down.
Holding decline, they'll take the play, which brings up 4th down. On the loss of 4, it'll be 4th and 12 for the Bulls.
Let's see if we can take a look at it. And that might have been it right there. Sheffield, he tried to do something there, and the Generals did a better job of containing their lanes. Sheffield has been killing them on their scrambles. Keep their lanes that time, and he had nowhere to run.
Sean, I can see the bands gathering on the far side. We've got a big halftime for you, so make sure you stay with us here in Sunshine Network as the bands will get a chance to perform. That punt by Levy Brown, downed by Antonio Bryant, deep in Jackson territory. And it looks like Bryant might have first touched it at the 14-yard line.
Rick, I know everyone in our audience is tuned in to see some of the best football players in the nation, but let me tell you something. They should stick around and watch these bands. They might be better than a lot of college bands. Your hair will stand up on your arms when you hear them play. And what's amazing is they're high schoolers, and they take it so seriously. And that's one of the reasons everyone shows up in the second quarter. They want to get here for the halftime show.
Well, King Hall wanted to get here for the second quarter. He takes over at quarterback for Jackson, just as Sean suspected. As he takes over for Ronnie Jones, hands the ball off to Stephen Logan. He picks up 4 yards to the 16. As the Generals, with a clock running, starting from deep in their own territory, they got a long way to go to try to get some points on the board before halftime, and I think they just want to get King Hall into the action.
There you see his statistics, 774 yards, 6 TDs to 4 interceptions. He was the man who got Jackson to 4-1 before he was injured, slight knee bruise. And now he's in the game. Can he provide the spark?
Bulls showed blitz. However, the handoff goes to Logan up the middle. He's going to be just short, it would appear, of the first down. James Gerald, number 3 in the middle of things defensively there for Northwestern.
And with all the mistakes that Jackson has had deep in their own end zone, or deep in their own end, I should say, with 46 seconds remaining, I think Coach Redmond was just trying to run the clock out. Like you said, just give King Hall a couple of snaps in the game, and we'll probably see him in the second half.
Clock stops here with 46 seconds to go before halftime. As the Bulls perhaps feeling they can get the ball once more, it's pretty good field position.
Well, one thing that Coach Rolle for Northwestern might have noticed, last week against Central in the punting game, their center had 2 high snaps. So what he might be thinking is call a timeout, see if they can stop him on 3rd and 1, and maybe they might get lucky with Jackson forced the punt on 4th down. Maybe they might get a safety, a high snap, anything. And that's smart coaching. Maybe nothing will happen, but if something happens, he looks like a genius.
Here's Batesy down on the sidelines.
Well, guys, we all know that Vernon Carey's all right, but there's a banged-up Bull over here on the Northwestern sidelines. Number 19, Rashad Smith, his helmet came down on a tackle, and bumped into his eye, and his eye is swollen. He can't see out of it. He's having some trouble. He hasn't been back in the game in a long time.
Thanks, James. It's 3rd and 1 now for Jackson. And the handoff goes to Ricky Gibbs. He does get the first down. That could settle the issue right here. Clock is stopped for the moment before they move the sticks as Gibbs reaches the 24.
That's one of those small things that happen in a game. Nothing happened, but if something did, it all would come down to just little things that the coaches do.
Well, you couldn't blame Billy Rolle for thinking that way because they've been able to capitalize on a number of Jackson mistakes in this first half to help build their 9-point lead. King Hall out of the shotgun. Clock running, 23 seconds to go. Hall, the left-handed thrower. Keith Brown comes up with the interception. He fielded that one almost like a punt as it was thrown to the outside of Tavares Capers. And with 15 seconds to go in the second quarter, it's Northwestern ball on their own 46.
I'm not an evaluator. I don't know if he's big time or not, but the one thing I do know is Keith Brown, all he does is make plays. Here, great interception. And it's another little thing, may turn into nothing, but Northwestern will have maybe 1 or 2 cracks at maybe putting some points on the board.
3 turnovers for the Generals in this first half, and they have paid by giving up points. Northwestern jumped out to a 10-0 lead. They're in front here late in the half, 16-7. Alanson Sheffield, you see, he's got 15 seconds with which to work. 2 wideouts to the left side. Short drop. Sidesteps the rush. He has got Bryant. He's tackled inbounds. That'll keep the clock moving as Stewart brought him down. Timeout is called by the Bulls with 4 seconds to go.
One of the other advantages that both these teams have in this game that they don't in any other game is playing in the Orange Bowl with a scoreboard that's very large, but also has the timeouts on it. Sometimes when you don't have a scoreboard to let you know how many timeouts you have, you kind of lose track. But they can see it. We had 1 timeout left. They get the completion, and very smartly, Sheffield calls the timeout. Will give them 1 more crack, maybe to throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. And it could happen. It almost happened last week in the Buoltz Vanguard game.
That's right. We are indeed in a big-time venue and a big-time matchup. The Soul Bowl here in Miami tonight at the Orange Bowl. And 1 play left here before halftime.
Talk about big-time crowds. I'm sure the University of Miami is looking on trying to figure out how to get a crowd this large. This is an event.
It sure is.
I think we exceeded 30,000 tonight.
Well, now it's Burnett Godby at quarterback here for the final play of the half. He's got a strong arm, heaves it down the field. The ball is juggled and it falls incomplete as Ben Johnson and Xavier Williams were battling for it. They were the closest players to it. Burnett Godby with the attempt, but it falls incomplete, and we finish up at half 16-7. Let's check in with James Bates.
Guys, I got Bulls head coach Billy Rolle here. Coach Rolle, when you win the special teams battle and create so many turnovers like you have, it's kind of hard to be even close, but it's a close game right now.
Yeah, it's a close, tough game, just like we knew it would be. We had some opportunities early, didn't capitalize on, end up getting a field goal and missing one. But when we get those opportunities, we got to capitalize on them.
Right, you won 10 in a row against Jackson. What do you say to these guys at halftime to make sure it turns into 11 tonight?
Well, we got to keep the pressure on them, and capitalize on the mistakes that they're making and minimize ours.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thanks, James, and thank you to Coach Rolle as well, as his Bulls are in front 16-7. We prepare for halftime. When we come back, we'll hear from the outstanding bands representing these fine schools.
There comes a point in your life when you outgrow those cute little pickups, at which time you might want to consider something a little more adult, a truck that can run rings around compacts. Dodge Dakota, with more room and more available towing, torque, and power. Magnum power. Dakota. It's time to put away the toys.
Is it pain? Is it pleasure? Gatorade, is it in you?
Northwestern has a 16-7 lead over Jackson, and the Northwestern band is on the field right now, entertaining this huge crowd of the Orange Bowl tonight at the Soul Bowl here on Sunshine Network. Welcome back here at halftime. Roger Cuevas is the superintendent of the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. He joins us here at halftime. And Roger, turning our attention away from football for a few moments. Hard to do here at the Orange Bowl, but let's talk about some of the programs that you're instituting this year in Miami-Dade County. First of all, the mandatory reading program. Tell us about that.
We're very excited about the reading program. We have really taken this by a community effort coming from the business community. I'm amazed at what is happening with the schools. We have major sponsors that are now going to the schools and reading. We have mentors that are reading. Our goal is to have every child reading at the grade level. And these youngsters today out on the field are part of that. And one of the things that makes it so important is that we're combating the issue of truancy and dropout prevention. We need to get the kids reconnected, and this is one way that we are doing it.
So you are getting direct involvement in this program from the business community. They are coming and meeting with the kids and reading and helping them?
Every aspect of the community is now, including the Miami Herald, for example, has a major initiative which is called the Need to Read. Publix has the Feed Me a Story campaign. It is absolutely wonderful that we're focusing and simplifying what we're all about, and reading is the essence of what we do in school. If you can't read, you cannot continue on in the progress of getting on to school.
How difficult was it to get the sponsorship, to get the involvement, to get these people to jump in here and help you in instituting this program?
Well, we are a very fast-growing community, and we keep multiplying, and there are a lot of jobs that are needed. And the key to getting the youngsters ready to enter the world of work is that they have to learn how to read, write, and provide the necessary skills for the industries in here to participate. So because of the need to have a workforce, everybody is participating.
And you mentioned the Stay in School campaign, fighting truancy. Are there any additional programs tied in with that to help along in that effort?
Yes, we are now working with the State Attorney's Office, Kathy Rundle, who has initiated the Truancy Intervention Program. It is an absolute program that really allows the parents to come into school when they're having a problem. They get a letter from the state attorney because they're violating the compulsory law. So after 5 unexcused absences, those parents have to come to school. That is the beginning probably of the best dropout prevention program because it's early intervention and prevention.
Great work. We can tell that your excitement is carried over in getting the business community involved here, and congratulations on your work, Roger, and good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Roger Cuevas, the superintendent of schools here in Miami-Dade County, joining us here at halftime, and the Northwestern band continues to entertain at the Orange Bowl. Don't go away. The Bulls in front here at the half, 16-7 over Jackson.
You know, when we first started telling golfers that oversized is overrated, tour pros kept coming up to me and saying, "Come on, Raj, is the tri-metal really that good?" No club climbs to #1 on any pro tour unless it's head and shoulders better than anything else they're using.
In the tri-metal, what you see is the culmination of 38 years of making the highest quality, best performing golf clubs in the world.
The tri-metal is better because 2 things. It looks good to me, and I hit it farther than anything else in my bag. Put the tri-metal in your bag.
If you love golf, you owe it to yourself to give it a try. Oversized is over. The tri-metal is the right size club.
Call now to receive your free video on the tri-metal. We'll also rush you a free subscription to Great Golf Magazine, the insider's guide to new technology and in-depth interviews from the world of golf. Call now.
welcome back to the 1998 Soul Bowl here on Sunshine Network, a part of our new Dodge Florida High School Champion Series coverage as Northwestern leads 16-7 here at halftime, and the mighty Marching Bulls are on the field right now under the direction of Christopher Dorsey. Let's enjoy their performance. The Marching Bulls band from Northwestern Senior High School will step aside here at halftime with Northwestern leading 16-7 over Jackson.
I used to wonder if I was too old to go back to school. Now I know I wasn't alone. I used to worry about my future. Now I know I have one. I used to wonder if I made the right decision. Now I know. I should have called sooner.
Get a start on your future. Call ITT Tech at 1-800-446-4130 for an informative brochure. That's 1-800-446-4130. When he took apart my drill just to see how it worked, he made me mad. When he built his first radio to contact life on other planets, he made me laugh. When he picked electronics as a career, he made me think. And when he graduated from ITT Tech, he made me proud.
For an informative brochure, call ITT Tech at 1-800-446-4130. That's 1-800-446-4130.
Ah, the possibilities Dodge Caravan opens up. It's a cabin in the woods, complete with heated power recliners. It's your own private ski lodge, or your workshop for building one. It's your place in the sun, complete with guest room and breezeway. Dodge Caravan, the world's most popular home away from home. Now get up to $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Caravan.
Tonight's coverage of Northwestern and Jackson in the new Dodge Florida High School Champion Series here on Sunshine Network is brought to you in part by radio station WEDR. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl here in Miami on a cool and crisp evening. The Marching Generals of Jackson Senior High have taken the field. Jermaine Fleming is the director of the Marching Generals. Let's enjoy. second half. We'll be back with full first half highlights in a moment.
Is it pain? Is it pleasure? Gatorade, is it in you? Catch all the excitement of college football with tickets to a Golden Knights game. Dante Culpepper has proven to be pure gold as he leads the Knights in his senior year. Reserved sideline and end zone tickets are still available. Call 407-823-1000 for more information. Don't miss the action as Dante Culpepper leads the Knights in their third year of 1A football. Call 407-823-1000 for tickets to a UCF home game today. It's homecoming as UCF takes on Ball State November 14th.
At halftime, Northwestern leading Jackson 16-7. Here downtown Miami as you look at the skyline of this beautiful city. And we take you back inside the Orange Bowl, where Northwestern ruled for the first 24 minutes of this game, taking a 10-0 lead. They've got the 16-7 lead after one half of play. The youngsters all fired up for the second half, Sean, as we look at highlights.
Well, with the score 3-0, they give the ball to Torrey Cox. And when you're invited to the biggest dance of the year, you dance with who brung you, Torrey Cox from 10 yards out. And that gives the Bulls the 10-0 lead. But back comes Jackson here. Ronnie Jones rolling like a river, looking, finding Luther. Huggins in the back of the end zone, and he just can't be stopped by conventional weapons, and that cuts the lead to 10-7. But back comes Northwestern after Jackson turns over on a punt. On the 7th day, he rested, but on the 8th day, he created Torrey Cox from 23 yards out, and that is where we stand at the half. Northwestern on top of Jackson, 16-7.
Let me get you a towel. You can cool off there, Sean. Who writes your stuff? Is James writing your stuff still?
No, actually, my director helps me out. Is actually one of the cameramen here tonight, Robert Fleming. We do all that kind of stuff on Gridiron.
Well, here's the first half statistical show. You saw Cox with a good portion of the Northwestern rushing total. Allenson Sheffield had the rest of it in that first half.
Well, when Torrey Cox, that was the big question coming in tonight. Would he be able to go up against the front four and rush? And he's done a great job. Very even in statistics. But a lot of this game has come down to the mistakes made by Jackson, the 3 turnovers.
That's right. The 49 yards rushing for the Generals. Stephen Logan's got 40 of those. As it will be the Bulls who will receive the second half kickoff. John Lewis is prepared to kick off for Jackson. It's a good foot into it. Sidney Simpson, number 1, has it. Reaching the 25-yard line. Pardon me, not Simpson, but rather Willie Streeler, number 11. The reserve quarterback and wide receiver on the return. And he'll turn the ball over to the Bulls at the 25-yard line. Their offense goes to work.
We'll have to take a peek, Rick, to see what type of adjustments that Miami Jackson will come out. They've actually played quite well on defense, not allowing Northwestern to have long drives. The question has been on offense, not turning the ball over and giving Northwestern a short field.
Burnett Godby, who threw the last pass of the first half, a Hail Mary that fell incomplete, takes over for Allenson Sheffield. Here to start the second half, and he has Torrey Cox in motion. It's Godby on the quarterback keeper right up the middle. And he crosses the 35 to the 36-yard line, and it looks like he's got a first down. It is.
Well, Cox goes in motion. They empty the backfield. This is a design play. Nice block there up front, kicking out the linebacker Stewart. And that allows Godby to pick up the first down. Great job there by number 79 from Northwestern, getting a great block, and that frees up Godby.
Godby under center, Cox the lone setback. And Cox gets the handoff. A huge hole across midfield. A nice open field tackle is made by Stephen Ellick, number 11. But a big gain there of 15 yards, perhaps a couple more for Northwestern as they're rolling.
You can see they don't do anything fancy. They just have the left tackle try to kick out the end, and they have their guard try to push in the tackle, and they let Cox do the rest. He found a gaping hole, and then it's just as much as Cox can pick up before he's brought down.
On 2 plays, Godby gains 11. Torrey Cox 17. See running his total for the night at 83 yards, averaging 5.5. He's run for 2 scores, and it's 1st and 10 from the Jackson 47. And now it is Godby, the quarterback, in motion. A snap comes to Torrey Cox, and he skirts the right end. A penalty marker down as Cox is wrestled down to the 41 by Xavier Williams, number 27.
Well, apparently, Coach Rolle, those are some wrinkles. Those are some wrinkles to the offense.
Going to be a hold, though, against the Bulls. That'll back them up.
That's my play.
Let's take a peek at the men up front. Cox is back there. They get a double team on Gashlin, try to kick him inside. But Gashlin does a great job getting through the double team, and it forces Cox to go out.
From the penalty, they'll mark it back in Northwestern territory at the 46-yard line. And it will be first down once again at about 17. Godby gets the snap this time. Fires over the middle. He's got Antonio Bryant. He is dropped in a big tackle by Curry Burns, number 12. And he'll get it back to the 41-yard line of Jackson.
Well, they don't miss a beat. In comes Burnett Godby. Nice pass. Finds Bryant, who finds the seam in the zone. Great play. And right now, Northwestern, they pick it up where they left off in the first half. And it seems like they're a little bit different type of team with Godby in. They seem to have a little bit more zip in their offense than they had with Sheffield underneath center.
Now they mark Bryant down to the 37. Second down and less than a yard. And Godby on a keeper. Gashelin tugging on him from behind, trying to keep him from getting to the first down marker. I think he's got it. Officials carefully spot the ball. Godby, a senior, 6'1", 195. Certainly gives you more of that. He does get the first down. Does give you more of that running option. He's 30 pounds heavier than Sheffield. And Sheffield waits his turn to the sidelines. The offense turned over to Godby.
Well, he only has 38 yards passing, but he did some damage running the ball in the first half. Allison Sheffield did.
He sure did. 37 yards and a couple of big carries. 1st and 10. Here's Cox. He's got room, and he bounces it outside. Fights his way to the 22. Xavier Williams catches up to him along with James Green, number 52. He's got another first down and a pickup of 14.
We've seen some great running backs on the Champion Series this year. Willie Green's the first one that'll come to mind. But Torrey Cox is a special type of back. Some people say he might be too fragile to play at the next level. Oh, I'll take this kid any day. Look at him go inside and just refusing to go out of bounds. He likes to cut it up. He likes to initiate contact on his runs. And that's something to say about a guy who's only 5'10".
Well, he brings the Bulls to the Jackson 23. And it's gone beyond the quarterback draw. Gets inside the 20. Picks up 4 yards. Before the Jackson defense catches up to him. And Godby is moving the Bulls here early in the second half.
There you see Lewis Gashlin, this season 22.5 sacks. I'm not exactly sure how much he bench presses, but I know it's somewhere in between a Chevrolet and a van.
Godby, one-step drop, and he throws it. It's picked off in the end zone. And they're going to try to bring it out. It's ruled a touchback. Xavier Williams on the interception. The officials have blown the play dead. Godby threw it well over the intended receiver who broke toward the post. He was throwing it out.
Tough to see what happened there. Xavier Williams comes up. That's his 7th interception on the year. Here just tries to throw a fade pattern, but there's no one out there except Xavier Williams, and he just makes a great play. I guess you could say he was Xavier on the spot. X marks the spot right there in the end zone.
Might say that. And again, you might not, Sean, but
I think I will say that.
First turnover to benefit Jackson tonight. They've turned the ball over 3 times. And let's see what the Generals can do with the generosity of the Northwestern Bulls, who were really moving the ball down the field, and they turned it over. Ricky Gibbs on the carry.
And some people might say, oh, what were they doing putting in Godby now? You know, now comes out the second guessers. Everyone's a genius in hindsight, but Godby threw a great seam pass to Antonio Bryant on that drive. So for him to come in and throw passes, they just picked right up with him. It was just a bad play for Northwestern.
8-yard gain on first down. Stephen Logan plunges ahead, trying to get the remaining 2 yards for a first down. Anthony Dixon, 99, the big nose guard, tackles him, and it looks like he'll have the first down across the 30-yard line.
There's still a lot of time, but I think that this is a very big drive, and there's the man that set it up, Xavier Williams. This is a very big drive. They need to put together some first downs, not make any mistakes, not have any penalties. They need to establish some consistency.
They do have the first down. You see the clock moving here in this third quarter. The handoff goes to Logan. He fights his way across the 35. A herd of Bulls bring him down, led by Jermel Weaver, number 97. He picks up about 6.
Well, they talked to Jermel Weaver, number 97, one of the double vision twins, as he comes up and makes a nice tackle. And they asked him, what do you think about the game? And he's like, well, I feel bad for the quarterback for Jackson. They go, why? Well, the game's live on television. They're going to be showing me sacking the quarterback and showing it over and over and over.
Logan met in the backfield by Issa Gary, number 60, and unable to gain any positive yardage there. He's dumped back behind the 35. I think they'll spot his forward progress at about the 36. And he'll lose a yard here, bringing up 3rd down and 5. Once again, the Weaver twins leading the charge. And Sean, you were telling me earlier in the week, Jermel and Jarrell sometimes don't wear the right numbers just to have a little fun with people.
They are playful kids. I mean, we watch them tonight and we start thinking about Division I athletes. They are playful, and like you said, they change numbers on us sometimes. Not tonight, though.
Midway through the third, Northwestern maintains a 9-point lead.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with the Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to. Because if you want to lose weight, you've got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. You've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
Midway through the third quarter, Northwestern leads it 16-7. We're back here at the Orange Bowl, and joining Sean and myself is Cheryl Golden, who is the Educational Specialist, Division of Athletics and Activities of Miami-Dade County Schools. And Cheryl, welcome to our booth here. We're seeing an outstanding game tonight here and a big crowd.
Tonight is probably one of the largest high school football games you will see in the nation. And some of the finest talent that comes out of Miami-Dade County is being showcased here tonight.
And Cyril Jones, number 3, representing some of that fine, outstanding high school talent, receiving a pass there as Jackson has the ball. And tell us, as far as some of your duties, I know they're related to fundraising. Tell us about what those entail.
We spend a lot of time in Dade County looking for creative ways to fund athletics. As you know, most of athletics throughout the state and throughout the nation are not totally funded by school boards. So events such as this that can come in and bring in sponsorships and sponsor scholarships. And we've done our adventures with the Miami Dolphins for the NFL money. We did a large fundraiser this summer. And we spend a lot of time looking for creative ways to keep kids in school playing sports.
Well, Cheryl, great to have you with us. And by all means, join us here as we pick up the action. It looks like the Generals lose a yard back to the 43-yard line, and it will be 2nd down and 11 for Jackson. As Sean pointed out, a key drive for them. 5:08 and counting remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Generals trail by 9. Full show blitz, they back off. King Hall fires, and Logan couldn't hang on. He thought for a moment it might be a lateral, but it is an incomplete pass, and it will be 3rd and 11 now facing the Generals. And Cheryl, talking about some of the programs that you've got, that you deal with all sorts of variety for boys and girls at the high school level.
Our high schools, we have 13 varsity sports for boys. We have 11 varsity sports for girls. We run 9 junior varsity sports for girls and 7 junior varsity sports for boys. We have 32 high schools in Dade County that play sports, and out of those 32, we have 28 that participate in our football program.
Wow, that's great. King Hall on the snap, pressured, lots one to Logan. He was decked. Levy Brown, number 7, got there defensively to break that up emphatically, and that will bring up a 4th and 11. And Cheryl, obviously, a lot of the schools you deal with, so many schools here in Miami-Dade County, but the build-up to this matchup has had to have been tremendous.
The build-up to this match has been absolutely tremendous. We have had such community support, such alumni support. This is not our only big matchup tonight in the city, though. We also have Miami Southridge going up against Miami Killian for District 16 championship tonight, and another crosstown rival in the north end with North Miami and North Miami Beach playing ball. So we probably would hopefully have a good 40,000 fans somewhere in this city watching high school football.
That is great news. But on the punt by the Generals, the Bulls will take over at the 22-yard line. And Cheryl, we thank you so much for stopping by, and you've had so much success, and as you've outlined for us, great athletic programs and great support. Good luck.
We thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl Golden, Educational Specialist, Division of Athletics and Activities for Miami-Dade County. Joining us here as we're late in the 3rd quarter, 4:42 remaining. Rick Peckham, Sean Alvashire, James Bates with you tonight here on Sunshine Network as Northwestern takes over on the ball. Corey Cox finding very little room to operate with, and that's unusual for him as he tried to bust up the middle, Sean.
One of the unfortunate things that happened in that drive was at the 6-minute mark, there was a water break, and it seemed like Jackson was moving the ball, and all of a sudden they had this official timeout, and that seemed to lose their momentum. I don't understand why the water breaks do not have to be in effect after the 6th week of the season. It's 50 degrees, 60 degrees out. You know, the water breaks are unnecessary at this point of the year.
Burnett Godby taking over in the 2nd half for Alanson Sheffield. And he takes off with the ball and crosses the 30. Going to be about a yard short, it would appear, for the 1st down. James Green, 52, the linebacker, brought him to the turf.
Well, the Jackson defense has been talking all week about how they will stop the Northwestern Bulls like they have never been stopped before. Well, they better start backing that up. They're down 16-7. There you see number 95, James Dumerville, trying to go up against Carey, and that's a tough matchup for anyone, even as good as Dumerville is.
Well, we get Andre Oliver coming across and connecting with Brandon McFarley, the center for the Bulls. And that should give Northwestern the 1st down. It's offside against the Generals, so that will indeed moved the ball to the 36. Well, the Bulls were marching on their last possession, turned it over in the interception. The Generals were unable to take over, and now Northwestern is marching from deep in their own territory here late in the third.
And they're helping the Bulls along the way.
See the penalty story so far in tonight's game. They hand off to Cox, trying to bounce it outside, and that very quick and tough linebacker James Green caught up to him for the tackle. Cox, however, gains 4.
You want to take a look at how quick Torrey Cox is. Look how he outruns James Green to the corner. Kicks it out. And James Green is a very quick linebacker, one of the top linebackers in Dade County. 39 tackles, 7 sacks on the season. And Cox just outran him to the corner.
Cox, the leading rusher in the county, has hit the 100-yard mark for tonight's work on 18 carries. Cox remains in the backfield, and it's Burnett Godby once again on the quarterback keeper. On the draw, he crosses the 45 to the 46. And Green wearing him out on the tackle once again, but they will be close to the first down.
Looks like Northwestern is taking a page out of the Jackson offense, trying to use Jackson's aggressiveness against them by doing the shotgun and then having the quarterback sneak and run right up the gut.
Generals have called for a timeout, and you saw James Green coming off to the sidelines, and he is shaken up and upset that he's had to come out of this game. It is a first down for Northwestern as play resumes, and Cox gets away from a couple of Generals and dives ahead to the 49-yard line. And it's Lewis Gashelin, number 42, who brings him down after a pickup of 3.
There are some definite concerns about Torrey Cox. He's the leading rusher in Dade County, but against Miami Central 2 weeks ago, he only ran for about 30 yards. I mean, they really controlled him. And out came everyone saying, well, he's too small. When he played a real team, he couldn't put up the big yards. He puts them up against teams that have losing records. Tonight, he's showing everybody that he is a man to be reckoned with. Torrey Cox can play.
Now, the Bulls have been in front right from the start of this game, and as you can see, they've been able to grind it out on the ground, and when you do that, you've got the clock in your favor. And we get to illegal procedure here against Northwestern with 1:24 to go in the quarter.
On our family.
So that'll back up the Bulls 5 yards. Rare mistake for Billy Roll's squad tonight.
Hold on. Get off.
Billy Robinson, the referee, try to slow down the Bulls. They want to bust out of that huddle and get working here. They're looking at 2nd and 12 now from the 45. Godby throwing down the sidelines. He's got Howard Lewis there. He's got it. He will score.
We're proud to wear the blue and gold.
Kenny D'Alta's extra point is good. Tack another one on for Northwestern. 23-7 late in the third.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Deardorff. Where would you go for a home equity loan? Let's ask.
Oh, banks have the best rates.
But banks only lend money when you don't need it.
Advanta National Bank is different. They lend money to people when they need it.
Right. With my credit?
They made their first loans 45 years ago to teachers who had trouble borrowing. They helped out when others wouldn't.
This is a bank, right?
With customers who get the flexibility only a national bank can offer, right over the phone.
Got to move all your accounts there.
Nope, just call Advanta. One of their loan specialists will show you how to use the equity in your home to pay off all of your bills. Get one low monthly payment and save hundreds of dollars a month, plus a tax deduction.
You wait for some board to approve.
You'll get fast approval over the phone. and your money in about 10 days. You don't need to have money in the bank to get money from a bank. To get the loan you want, call Advanta at 1-800-398-6880. You'll see they're different. Hey, they don't keep banker's hours either.
The New Taj High School Champion Series. High school football is more than just a game. It is enthusiasm, rivalry, and all-out excitement. Jacksonville Reigns and Jacksonville Ed White, Thursday at 7 on Sunshine.
The Marching Bulls band celebrate the touchdown. Northwestern leads by 16 now, late in the third. Let's check out this week's Scholar Athletes, brought to you by Gatorade. Cyril Covington, number 13 of Jackson, putting up impressive numbers in the classroom. The kickoff is taken by Stephen Logan. He crosses the 40, now to the 45. James Gerald brings him down, along with Patrick Payton, number 21. Antonio Bryan is our Scholar Athlete of the Week from Miami Northwestern, brought to you by Gatorade. And we know he can put up big numbers on the field. Look at those numbers in the classroom, Sean.
3.87, 11.70 on his SAT. That's what you like to see. We promote them athletically, but you love to see it when they're doing it in the classroom as well.
It's imperative for the Generals to get the work on offensively here with under a minute to go in the third quarter. Start from their 46, and it's King Hall throwing, and it's behind Sherwin Dean, number 88, the intended receiver.
Down 23-7, Jackson is almost forced to go exclusively to the pass. And when Jermel and Jarrell Weaver know this, they are going to come. And that's going to be the situation here in the fourth quarter. Can they keep the Weaver boys out of the backfield?
Bill Redmond knew he had an open receiver, and you saw Sherwin Dean in the huddle begging for another opportunity. They go now with 5 wideouts. Hall finds one of them. It's Luther Huggins, who caught a touchdown pass in the first half. He's knocked out of bounds near the Northwestern 45. Devontae Ward, number 8, on the tackle, as King Hall gets the play from the sideline. 1st and 10 now from the Northwestern 43. The shotgun. Hall with time. Looking for Cyril Jones. He's got it. A great catch over the outstretched arms of Sidney Simpson, and Jones hits the turf at the Northwestern 9.
They go out of the gun. Going deep. Cyril Jones. Look at great positioning by Sidney Simpson. It's just an outstanding athletic play by Cyril Jones. And here come the Bulls, this time only rushing 4, but nowhere near the quarterback as he has all the time in the world to get that ball downfield.
They mark Jones down outside the 10, so it's 1st and 10. The Generals can't get a first down without scoring here. Plunging ahead was Ricky Gibbs. Brandon Yarber, 96, on the tackle, as well as Jermel Weaver. Gibbs picks up a couple.
And with that pass and King Hall seeming to get back into this game, we'll have to see as we enter the fourth quarter, do they have enough in the tank to come back against the Bulls?
They trying to get the playoff before the quarter ends, and apparently they do not. The whistles sound just as the ball is snapped, and they run out of time in the third, so they'll travel to the other end. The Generals trying to reach the Bulls' end zone in the fourth when we come back.
Hi, I'm Dick Clark, and now everyone can enjoy the freedom of the new ISIS cellular phone from Philips thanks to prepaid cellular.
Introducing prepaid cellular from Worldwide Direct. With prepaid cellular phone cards, there's no monthly bills.
Take the phone just in case.
Thank you.
And no contract, no credit check, and no deposit. Got car trouble?
My car is broken down. Can you come and help?
Help is just a call away. So forget those outrageous phone bills. With prepaid cellular phone cards, buying airtime is easy. Order from home and the phone arrives at your door ready to use. Get the Philips ISIS prepaid cellular phone. A $199 value, now just 3 easy payments of $33. And there's no contract, no credit check, no deposit, and no monthly bills.
So pick up the phone, America. It's for you.
Now, for only 3 payments of $33, you're guaranteed cellular service regardless of your credit history. Call 1-800-841-1237. Pick up the phone, America. It's for you.
Jackson threatening to open the fourth. What is James Bates up to?
Hey, guys, after Northwestern scores a touchdown, you got to hear it up here. It's incredible, the fight song that they have, so I'm going to try it out myself. I am so glad that I wear blue and gold. Mr. Dorsey, is that how it goes?
No, James. This is the Soul Bowl.
I was close, wasn't I?
Wow, well, James Bates has a lot of things. Does not have any soul. It doesn't have a voice. Sorry, James, but
wow.
Holy smoke. Nice try, though.
You have to get A for effort. That's exactly right.
Northwestern outgaining Jackson 276 to 175, but the Generals trying to tack on the final 8 on this drive and get on the board. Looking toward the end zone. It's broken up and nearly picked off. Cyril Jones, the intended receiver. He and Sidney Simpson have been having a pretty good one-on-one battle on that side of the field.
Cyril Jones, the man who was able to get him down to the 10 Hall. He double pumps. It's a quick slant, and he could have come down with that ball, but nice close there by Simpson, wrapping his arms around him, preventing Cyril Jones from closing his arms. That's great technique. Just separate the arms if you can't get to the ball.
You can see there Simpson not big, but he's got that technique down. General 5 of 10 on third down. They've got 3rd and 7 for a first down. Hall fires, and the ball falls incomplete. Tavares Capers, the intended receiver. He was double covered. Javante Ward, number 8, involved on the Bulls defense. 4th down coming up.
It's another quick slant. I like the call. It's to the far side of the field. The only thing I don't like is they're trying to do it against Yulkeith Brown. Very tough. Capers and Yulkeith Brown been battling all night. But Yulkeith has proven time and time again tonight that he is the man.
4th and 7 for a first from the 8. They got the whistle. And timeout called by Northwestern. As the Bulls regroup, their backs against the goal line. Will step aside here in the 4th quarter.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with a Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to. Because if you want to lose weight, you got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. We've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
Coming up after the Soul Bowl tonight here at Sunshine Network, it's Sunshine Network Live. Our panel of Tom Corn, Bill Fay, and David Whitley will be chewing on the topic of John Henry's attempt to buy the Marlins from Wayne Huizenga. Interesting developments there. down and 7. Hall on the screen. He's got Logan, and he is held up short of the first down, tackled at the 3-yard line by Simpson, but we've got a penalty marker down in the general backfield. And the flag against Jackson.
They're going to decline this. They want the ball.
Yep, they'll get it at the 3. As Logan was held 2 yards short of the first down and 3 yards short of the end zone.
I mentioned earlier, I thought that they would go to the screen sooner because of the pressure from the Weavers. Let's take a look. This hold is probably going to come in. There it is, number 75 for Jackson with the hold against one of the Weaver boys. It's a tough. I think we got a peek here of one of their wide receivers. Look at the inside slant. Oh, my Lord. He is wide open.
That was Cyril Jones, number 3, who came up with a huge catch to set up this Jackson threat near the Northwestern goal line. But the ball goes over on downs to the Bulls. Burnett Godby, who took over actually in the final play of the first half for Allenson Sheffield. Hands it off to Torrey Cox. Can't find any room. In fact, perhaps lost the yard. Dumerville 95 involved on the tackle.
Now, Rick, I know you're from Wisconsin, but I grew up down here in Florida, and I'll tell you what, with the nice breeze blowing in here, this is the equivalent of the Ice Bowl to many people that live down here. I'm going to need a sweater in a minute. It's probably dipping into the 50s here.
Nice fall evening up north. Very pleasant.
A little chilly.
Blood's been down, eh? 11-10 to go here in this fourth quarter of the Soul Bowl, and it's Torrey Cox flashing off right tackle, reaching the 5. Xavier Williams on the tackle along with Arthur Stewart, who came in their leading tackler with 87. Far and away leading in that department for the Generals.
With the score 23-7, the Generals missed a golden opportunity, but they still have a shot. Right here, it's 3rd down and 8 to go. If they can stop them, force a punt from deep in their own territory, they'll get excellent field position. Jackson not out of it, but they need a good stop here.
3rd and 8. And it's got to be throwing. It's picked off by Ben Johnson, and he takes it in.
That'll do.
Joe Redmond was looking for a break, and he got one. Johnson's 5th pick of the season. And it's good for 6 points, and it trims the lead to 10 with a point after touchdown attempt coming up.
The mistake I made, I was thinking they were going to hold them.
I don't know. Something.
Mexican. That'd be fun.
Thinking Mexican tonight? Think Hamburger Helper. We've added authentic Old El Paso seasonings to create 4 festive flavors like new cheesy enchilada.
Really good.
This is good.
Try all 4. Hamburger Helper, helping you make a great meal.
Tonight. New pledge with orange oil.
It cleans and revitalizes wood to a lasting luster. Orange oil seems to break up the grease.
We're degreasing the muck. It's obviously from the orange oil. It really does clean.
Orange oil revitalizes.
It's like a vitamin.
For my wood furniture.
Pledge orange oil. It brought this wood back to life. It's bringing out the natural shine. I'd love to tell my husband that we don't need to redo the cabinets.
New pledge with orange oil. The power of orange oil to clean and revitalize. Jesse Johnson, a family company.
It's unbelievable.
Go ahead, girl, get it on.
Coming soon.
Congratulations, Deacon. You and my mother have a healthy baby daughter.
Her husband.
Bridget, please talk.
You'll never touch me again, never!
Is about to get.
You can go straight to hell.
Exactly what he deserves.
I can't wait to erase every single last bit of you out of my life.
On The Bold and the Beautiful.
Very talented, honey.
That hat looks great on you.
I think I'll go check on Brad.
We can have it so
Hey there, need any help?
No, I think I have everything under control.
Thank you for including us in your plans.
Are you kidding? You guys are wonderful company. And besides that, it gives me a chance to make good on my promise to be there for Nate. I thought tonight would be a good time to start.
That is going to mean so much to him.
I sure hope so. You know, I was thinking that I should move kind of slowly. I don't want to smother the kid.
Don't even worry about it. I've seen the way you are with Abby. You're a natural with children.
Yeah, but Nate's been through so much, and Neil is still certainly number one.
Just, you know, the way Neil's been acting lately. I don't even know if he's deserving of that kind of devotion.
Olivia, I think we need to give Neil a chance to get his act together and get back involved. He is the boy's uncle, and they have a very close relationship.
Well, I hope he does. But my son needs a strong male role model, and I'm grateful to you for that.
It's my pleasure. He's a great kid.
Although you're a very busy man with a lot of your own responsibilities.
If I'm hearing you right, I think you're a little bit worried that I might get involved with Nate and then just disappear. Don't worry. That's not going to happen. I am committed to this for the long haul.
You're one of a kind, Brett Carlton.
Yeah, well, you might want to reserve judgment on that until you've tasted my cooking. I'm going to go check on the barbecue coals.
Okay.
Under center, cocks the lone setback, gets the handoff, has a little room, dances up the middle, picks up 5 to the 26. Edward Rolle, 45, James Green, 52 on the tackle. Bulls, I'm sure, will be content to run it out if they can here, Sean. A little over 10 minutes to go, and the lead is 10.
A lot of time remaining, and we've seen some strange things happen on the Champion Series this year, most notably the Fort Myers-Charlotte game.
Wow, have we ever?
So 10 minutes, there could be anything could happen. Last week, Vanguard Buell, I think they scored 100 points in 5 minutes or something to that effect. Anything can happen in high school football.
Seems like it. Godby drops back, throws long, and incomplete. He didn't have a receiver really in the area. Bryant was running a post, but well short of where that ball was thrown. So interestingly, they throw deep, and the incompletion stops the clock with 9:39 to go.
Let's take a peek. Cyril Covington, he's a scholar athlete, and he's going to say hello to Burnett Godby. I think that's the reason why that pass was nowhere near anybody. They're bringing people from everywhere. They're trying to force a turnover now, trying to get after Godby.
Their confidence heightened certainly by the interception for a touchdown made by Ben Johnson. 3rd down and 6. Godby, quick throw once again, hit as he threw well out of the range of Antonio Bryant. James Green landed the hit in that Bulls backfield, and it brings up 4th down now from the 26.
They brought Covington from the left side last time. Look at James Green from the top, number 52. They're bringing everybody. They're not wasting any time. They can't sit back anymore. And I think in this game, we're seeing the difference in Dade County football and the rest of the state. The speed in Dade County is just tremendous. And that's why they've won the last 4 state championships Dade County has.
We get the whistle before Levy Brown can get that punt away on a 4th and 5. Willie Robinson investigates. Penalty against Northwestern. And man leaving too soon. It back to the 21. So that helps the Jackson cause a bit. 2 deep men now parked to the 48 of Northwestern. Good punt by Levy Brown. Cyril Jones has to chase it down. He'll just watch helplessly as it bounces out of bounds at the Jackson 42-yard line. So Brown coming up with a pretty good punt.
This game has definite playoff implications. The winner of this game will get highly American in the first first round of the playoffs. That's been decided. The loser of this game will get the champion of District 13, which is Carroll City. And if Jackson does not win this game, they have the bizarre situation of playing Carroll City in the final regular season game of the year and then getting to them in the first round of the playoffs.
A tall order there. 37-yard punt by Levy Brown. King Hall out of the shotgun, and down he goes, trying to get away from Terrell Weaver, 98. And he goes down for a loss of close to 5 yards.
Well, he said it. He's going to live in the Jackson backfield, and that time he did. Coach Redmond has to be beside himself a little bit. Nobody accounted for Terrell Weaver on this play. He came in uncontested and unblocked. And you would think that the Weaver boys are the first two people you look for when you line up on offense.
2nd and 15. Hall has time this time to look deep, and it is picked off. Giovanni Ward, number 8. Wrestled out of bounds by Maurice Smith back at the Generals 40. Another Jackson turnover, and the Bulls have a 10-point lead, 8:39 to go, and the ball in Jackson territory. A 30-yard interception returned by Giovanni Ward.
Giovanni Ward, only a sophomore. You see him at the bottom of your screen. He's just playing center field. This time, Hall locks in on his receiver. But watch upfield. Watch number 98, Terrell Weaver, get an unbelievable block coming up. Take a look at this. I don't know if we'll see it. It was right to the right of your screen. He has a great block.
Torrey Cox on the first play from scrimmage after the turnover, fumbles, and Jackson recovers at the 33-yard line. Ben Johnson was near the bottom of that pile. Looked like he could have been the man, perhaps James Green, who came up with the fumble, but back it goes to Jackson, and all of a sudden the Generals are alive again.
Well, they definitely needed to reverse the flow of momentum immediately, and that's what they got. Torrey Cox, he wants the ball in crucial situations, but this time he coughs it up, and it gives the Generals new life.
Billy Rolle calling out to his defense. King Hall, the quarterback. He's got Tavares Capers on the turn-in pattern, and the pass complete to the 41. Keith Brown closed quickly, number 4.
We haven't heard too much of Tavares Capers tonight, but he is the leading receiver in Dade County, and you have to give him credit there. The junior goes right into the seam, makes a tough catch, and he knew he was going to get hit, and still comes down with the ball.
2nd down and a short 3 for the Generals, and Paul Bobble, the snap, has to drift back. He's in big trouble, ran into his own blocker, and down he goes back of the 21-yard line. Marked down at about that point, a loss of close to 20 yards.
Well, they had some problems with their long snaps on punts a week ago. This time they have a problem on the snap in the shotgun. Hall tries to one-hit it. That's his first mistake. He should have really made a better effort to get the ball. But watch the end of this. Watch Jermel Weaver. He picks him up. He's going to pick him up, and he's looking for the WWF pile drive, and then he decides at the last minute, I better not. We have to win this game. We can't afford an unsportsmanlike, and that's why teams like him. He's very smart, very heady.
3rd and 20 on the loss of 17 yards on the sack. All throws, looking for Huggins, well covered by Levy Brown, and Huggins is irate that there was no call there.
He shouldn't be. Great play by Levy Brown that time. Great position, gets his hand in there, knocks the ball away.
Broken up by Levy Brown.
4th and 20 now facing the Generals. Boy, just the range of emotions in the last 5 minutes has been unbelievable, with an interception returned by Giovanni Ward, 30 yards, setting up the Bulls in Jackson territory. They immediately fumble the ball back to the Generals, who lose 17 in a sack, and it's 4th down and 20 yards to go. Carlos Martinez on the punt. Catch is made by James Gerald, and he goes near midfield. 31-yard kick by Martinez. The tackle made on the play by Deanna Lewis, number 35. Coming up after the game tonight, stay with us for Sunshine Network Live. Tom Korn, Bill Fay, David Whitley will have a number of topics on their plate, most notably John Henry's attempt to buy the Florida Marlins. What an ongoing saga that has been. Bulls football near midfield. Here's Torrey Cox. Grinding out the yards and bound and determined to hang on to the football this time. He may have a first down.
At the end of the year, the Gridiron Report names an all-Gridiron team. It's the best high school football team in the state, and it's going to be very tough to keep number 24 off the team. Right now, he is upset that he fumbled that ball, and he's running like a man on a mission.
He does move the sticks. 1st and 10 from the Generals' 41. He's behind Emmanuel Page on the setup of the backfield, gets the handoff and dives ahead for 4.
I'll tell you what's great about Torrey Cox. 2 weeks ago in the Central game, he rushed for 30 yards, but they win the game. He gets 2 touchdowns. He gets really banged up in that game. I mean, they came after him. They were going to stop him. The following against Miami Beach, they win the game, but he comes out at halftime, has ice on his shoulders. I asked him, you going to be ready? He's like, I'm a little dinged, but I'll be ready. Tonight, you haven't seen any effects of that. That's how hard he's been running.
John, you've mentioned some people have questioned his size at 5'10", 180. Here's his 25th carry, adding to a total of 124 yards by picking up 7 here. And he'll move the sticks once again as he reaches the Jackson 30. First down.
Great block. Look at Emmanuel Page here. Great block by the fullback. I mean, we can talk about Torrey Cox all we want. The line, great job by the center, Brandon McFarley. There's Vernon Carey in there getting another block. And as great as that defensive line of Jackson is, we really haven't said too much about James Dumerville and Lewis Cashman. Credit to the line of Northwestern.
Well, Sean, we have another one of your favorite water breaks here at just under 6 minutes to go in the 4th. Northwestern leads by 10, and they are driving.
Uh-oh, we got trouble.
Oh, please, not me.
That's gotta hurt. We gotta do something.
Run, monkey, run!
I'm not gonna make it!
She's got monkey.
Mom! Go eat some of your own size!
Got milk. We want a Dodge Intrepid to be so powerful, so nimble, so sleek and so slippery that it would fairly scream, "Drive me." Car and driver must have heard it because they drove it. Then they named Intrepid one of the best. Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again. Lease a well-equipped Intrepid for as low as $269 a month.
Series is brought to you by the new Dodge and by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. You either have it in you or you don't. Life's a sport. Drink it up. Allenson Sheffield back at quarterback for the Bulls. 2nd and 10 from the 30. And the handoff goes up the middle to Emmanuel Page on one of his rare carries. And he reaches the Jackson 27-yard line. 3rd down and 7 upcoming for the Bulls.
Right now, this is exactly what the Bulls want to do. They just want to run Torrey Cox, and you have to think some of the Jackson fans are getting concerned. Some of them are starting to pull their gear together and head to the exits. But what a crowd tonight. This was a special atmosphere for high school football.
As many as 30,000, perhaps more expected. And earlier, when this crowd was at its peak, boy, it sure looked like it was 30,000 and then some as we look at the rushing yardage story.
Encroachment. The winner signal.
Offside, the encroachment call goes against Jackson, so that really eases the burden for the Bulls, who were looking at 3rd down and long, and right now they got 3rd and a short 2. Once again, a look at the crowd tonight. Everybody having a good time. The Orange Bowl, the place to be in Miami tonight. side of that Northwestern line now, guilty of illegal procedure. They'll back him up again.
I think in a situation like this, it's easy to lose your focus. And I think that's what might be happening here. 4 minutes left. Remember, we're dealing with 17-year-old kids. Big crowd. They're thinking, hey, we got this game in the bag. I mean, they don't, but you got to remember what you're dealing with. A high school student, and they're jumping offside. Something they didn't do the whole game.
Cox in motion. Sheffield, he is decked free, knocked the ball out of his hand. They say his arm was moving forward, so it's ruled an incomplete pass. James Green on the blitz. Just devoured Allenson Sheffield there. An incomplete pass will now make it 4th down and 7.
Let's take a look at this. I thought he pump faked. He pumps it. Oh, great. Well, that ball looked like it might have slipped out before he had his arm moving forward. Very close call. That could have changed the tide if that was ruled a fumble.
Absolutely. James Dumerville got in there as well. 4th and 7 now for Northwestern. 3:37 remaining. Sheffield out of the eye, fakes the handoff to Cox, rolling, and throws it out of bounds. So they will turn it over to Jackson. On downs, the Generals take over at their own 27. And Sean, you bring up a good point, and it is high school kids we're dealing with here, and their focus and so forth. They get so excited for this matchup. You have mentioned the road ahead for these schools. Both of them have their eye on district championships and the state playoffs coming up as well. Is there a bounce factor when you look at kids this young and a game of this importance when they still have games they must win beyond this one?
I think, like anything, they are human, and they might have a letdown next week. But this is week 10, week 11, and then the playoffs start. So they do have a buffer zone 1 week before the playoffs. So I think you are right. They're human. I mean, like anyone. I mean, we see it at every level. So I think they need a week to kind of recuperate and get ready for that run. Northwestern, the pressure won't end if they win this game. They're still number 2 in the state, number 5 in the country. They're expected to run the table. So there's still pressure for Northwestern.
Indeed there is. Early pass completion reaching to 32. They look for Huggins. He's got it. However, he's dropped for a 2-yard loss. As James Gerald closed quickly in a good tackle.
And although it looks as if Jackson might lose this game, there's still plenty of time for them to come back. If they do lose, it almost might help them. Then all of a sudden they don't have as big a target on their back. They can maybe sneak into the playoffs with 2 losses. They will make the playoffs. But remember, the way the brackets work, these 2 teams could meet again in the state semifinal.
Something to keep your eye on in the weeks ahead. We got whistles blowing as the ball is snapped. Clock is stopped with 2:21 to go.
Okay. Shift. On the offense.
Illegal shift
back.
by
Okay.
the Generals. Northwestern will take the penalty, and that will leave the Generals with 3rd down and 12. Here is our All-Star Cafe player of the game. Torrey Cox with a huge night on the ground for the Bulls. A couple of touchdowns. Wow, a big sack is registered by Brandon Yarber, number 96, on King Hall, who is able to pick himself up back at the 15-yard line. And Jackson looking at 4th and very long now.
There are college games that aren't this physical and have this kind of hitting.
Torrey Cox, 131 yards, a couple of touchdowns for the Bulls. He's been a force all night long. Picked up 66 in the first half and 50 or so in the second half. He's had TD runs of 10 and 23 yards. Well, Joe Redmond, no choice but to send the punter on, and go down 10 with a minute and a half to go. Martinez with a punt. It hits the turf of the 40, and it is covered by DeJuan West. And the Bulls trying to get on it. It hit West.
That's Jackson ball. That's a live ball.
That ball hit the Bulls, and West recovered it, so Jackson does get it at the 47-yard line. They actually pick up 32 yards on the play.
That was a great play by Coach Redmond. Good call. Let's take a peek. This is just Northwestern not paying attention. Here's a short kick. They try to clear everyone out, but watch, it takes a funny bounce, goes right back. And then they realize, oh, wait a minute. That's a live ball. Jackson recovers. They still have a shot.
That ball hit Demetrius Walton. However, the pass from Hall to Cyril Jones incomplete. 1:19 to play.
The key is for Jackson, when they have people wide open like Cyril Jones, they have to come down with the catch. Perfect play right on the sideline. He could have picked up 8 or 9, stepped right out of bounds, stopped the clock, but he turned around a little too soon. And it's funny, you see that at every level, even the professional level. They try to run without the ball.
From the 47, King Hall hit as he throws, and it's picked off. Sidney Simpson, number 1, on the interception with 1:12 remaining. And the Bulls on another turnover appear to have sealed the deal here.
That might be a case of the Jackson Generals trying to get a little bit too much too soon. Here, King Hall back to pass. He's under some pressure. They try to throw the up and out, and Sidney Simpson just playing center field. Great interception by the junior.
We look at the two coaches. We'd like to thank their athletic directors for helping us to telecast tonight's game. Greg Killings from Northwestern, Jake Caldwell of Miami Jackson. Thanks to them and their staff for all their help. Exciting opportunity for all of us at Sunshine Network to beam the Soul Bowl across the state. And we hope you've enjoyed it tonight from the Orange Bowl, as the Bulls will try to run it out here with a minute to play. Corey Cox picking up a couple more yards, make it 4. Sunshine Network Live coming your way, following our coverage tonight here from the Orange Bowl.
It'll be tough for them to match this, huh?
Yes, it will, but I know these guys are up for it. Cox on the carry again. Pickup of 1 as Corey Burns up from his safety position makes the tackle. Well, there's a lot of angles to cover in discussing that Miami Marlins sale or lack thereof. Wayne Huizenga forming a committee, and I don't know if you were asked to be on that.
No, but I thought you were. I thought that was the sticking point in the whole deal. The members of the media, and Rick Peckham, I distinctly remember, needed to be a part of that transaction.
Well, I wish that were the case. Now the clock winds down, and that'll do it for the 1998 Soul Bowl. Joe Redmond encouraging his young men who battled hard tonight. But the Northwestern Bulls prevail, and members from both teams meet at the center of the field to exchange greetings. And Billy Rolle, the winning coach in this one, 23-13, and Northwestern wins their 11th consecutive Soul Bowl. Our thanks to both schools and everyone connected with helping Sunshine Network put on this telecast tonight. And for Sean Alvashire and James Bates, Rick Peckham saying so long from the Orange Bowl. Stay tuned for Sunshine Network Live coming up next.
SunshineNetwork.com is the source for auto racing from lap to lap.